when I click live. So now I gotta like check in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You always do.
Well, okay. See, easy.
You
I'm
do it
already
on
struggling.
purpose.
Well, I did do it on purpose, but then I was like, maybe this is probably like is this illegal to like just go live when someone's in? I don't know. There might be laws about like you like recording someone on the phone or
Yeah.
something. Is that
I'm just
illegal?
like,
I
yeah.
don't.
Then I hit the bodies.
Yeah.
Now I know in Michigan it's legal as long as one party knows what's going on.
What?
But it's weird though because you're technically not in Michigan.
And so it is illegal.
I
Okay,
don't
so
know
I'm glad.
how. Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
how? Look, you can't even like gamble in Ohio. I don't think. So
Still?
it's yeah. I don't think you can yet. Clipping again with my friend Dion. Oh, that's what I can see what you titled it. Okay, no, easy, real quick, man. Before we get this going, this thing will not go live on X. Dude, did I get the wrong account? Do you know anything about that? It says premium account required. I don't know. Maybe I have to get
Mi-
certified or something. Like they had to check it.
Oh, you did it today?
Yeah, I did today.
Yeah, I think it takes a minute. I actually got to send in my ID. They never told me. I'm actually kind of upset about that, Mr. Elon Musk. But I
What?
was getting paid on my X account, and then I'm realizing like, yo, I haven't got my X payment in a minute. And I checked, and that it's because I haven't refreshed my ID with them. But I never got notification to do it.
Man, so this thing's about to be crazy. You have to send your ID in.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I got to figure that out. Actually, I'm gonna do that when we're done. Don't let me forget. Chat,
Okay.
don't let me forget.
All right. Don't let him forget. Give his social security number out live. You can
Yeah.
just do it. Don't forget. Put it in the chat. Hey, man, we're live here with Easy. Um, Easy, what if they're on your channel, man? Is that what your title is? Your title
Yeah.
is
I told you,
Clipping
I don't.
again.
I really look, when I go live on my channel, it's not to steal because I want you to get the viewers, man. You're the OG. I literally just do it for clips. That's why I title it like weird stuff like that.
Yeah, you'll just like take it out of context, make me look terrible. No, I get it. It's a
Yeah,
good strategy.
yeah. It's like if you don't change that title,
Yep.
I'm gonna lock
Hey,
you in my basement downstairs.
bro, you said the one pop though, so that's good. That's the Hendon Hooker one. And hey, look,
Oh,
man,
the clip, yeah.
we didn't even do a show after week 2, but
No,
well, I
hope
got to
you
do
got.
the hot sauce.
Yeah.
I didn't get it prepared for today's show, bro. I can't get to the store,
Oh,
but if
dude,
hey,
you're not even mobile like that either. It's not even. Damn it.
we're gonna do it though. We're gonna do it though. I'm not gonna let us forget that because I'm down like because I want more of those in the future. You know what I mean? So I want to make
Yeah.
sure that I do it. That way we don't just not do those. Hey, but so today we're gonna do our 53 prediction. Kind of. We'll talk through it a little bit. I have one. I think Easy kind of has one. So we'll show those. We'll talk through them. Maybe talk through practice squad ideas a little bit. Who's in the chat? Let me know. I see y'all. And then also I saved some clips, and Easy hasn't seen any of these, but this is like what I would do on like because we didn't really talk about the line. Did you do a post game show for the Steelers game? Did you do
No.
anything on that? Okay, so this is perfect. So usually like when I would do like during the regular season, I would do a post game show, but because you don't have the all 22 yet, and they took forever last week. I know you realized that too. They waited till like Thursday or something before they dropped it. It was like, all right, we're just not getting it. So I like clip them, but I clip them really short and like zoomed in. That way they're not copyrighted, but you can still kind of see what's going on. So that
Yeah.
way we're kind of like breaking stuff down, but we're not getting copyrighted for it. So I got a ton of clips, and that'll kind of give us like a stock watch and kind of give you a sense of where I'm at with certain guys. That way we can give attention to the guys that there's only because it really only feels like there's a few positions that really has a battle. Outside of that, we kind of know who's making the team. So I still want to give love to some of those players that feel like they showed up because they'll probably end up on a practice squad. And once they're on the practice squad and 53 is done, we won't talk about them again unless they're elevated. That's just how it goes. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you do weekly practice squad reports? Is that a show on?
I mean, I think this year there. I mean, there may be, bro. I mean,
Okay.
we haven't got to the wide receiver stuff yet, but yeah, I think
Yeah,
I think there's
actually.
gonna be something's gonna happen.
Yeah. See, and right before we get into this though, so when I did my first 53, I kept 5 because I felt like I had to. But
Yeah.
like that was the big thing is I think there's a possibility they keep 4 because we've seen them do some off the wall stuff before where it's just like, oh, they can't do that and then they do it. Do you
Yeah.
think there's a possibility they keep 4?
Yeah, I honestly right now on my list right now I have them as 4. I haven't figured out where to put. I want to make it 5, and to be honest with you, my 5th was gonna be. I don't know if you want to get into it yet, but
You can go ahead, yeah, if you want to, unless you want to wait.
my 5th is gonna be DPJ. They don't have that guy. I mean, J-Mo's probably the biggest on this team right now in terms of like stature, and he's not that big. I mean, he's lengthier, for sure, but like I think listening to Dan Campbell talk about Isaiah Williams 2 weeks ago, it really sounded like they wanted somebody who could play that outside, or at least the Z or X or something like that, And
Right.
we don't right now outside of JMO and Amon-Ra splits time. It's just those two really. Isaiah is kind of redundant to what you already have in Khalif Raymond as a returner as well, because he offers that too. But you can't let someone like that go, at least not for free. I,
Dude.
I don't know.
And then to me the weird thing is too is just like there's nobody else you could. It's not like I could in the years past where you could be like, well, Kennedy was really good, so just take Kennedy. Like I can't really do that. The only guy you can do that with, I think, is now Maurice Alexander. But even before this last game, he wasn't like he. I don't even know if he had receptions in both games. Like he was super quiet. And then this last game, he took off. Like you'd get cool reps in there, but nothing that made you feel like, oh, he's gonna overtake somebody. And Caden Davis kind of slowly came along, but it was nobody like made you say like, oh, that's the guy. That guy's gonna take someone's spot, and he'll just have to make it work regardless of the size. Because I'm right with you. That's right before week 3, I did a 53 prediction, and I put DPJ in there too for that same reason. I was like, I hope I see something. I've seen nothing yet, but I'm going to put him in there just because it just makes too much sense, and they got to have somebody there. I think most people believe and most agree that they'll probably look to grab somebody from somewhere, even if he doesn't stick around. Just try him out, just see what they have for receiver 5. Do you think there's a potential trade, like they could actually make a legitimate swing beyond just signing a body?
I feel like, and I'm not like one to critique these gentlemen because they've done such a fine job, especially like just one I've literally never seen in my entire life as a Detroit Lions fan. But like Brad Holmes and Dan, I just feel like this is something they should have been working on. This is something they should have been working on the past 2 weeks. It felt like last week this was a conversation last week. This has been a conversation all camp. Once Darius Felton started to kind of like go away a little bit there, so it's like, I feel like they should have been on it. But at the same time, I understand that other teams are probably working out their rosters and maybe they don't know who they want to depart from too. Like the team I look at when I talk wide receivers is the Texans, just because they have 3 absolute studs. And one of them is going to be left out in Tank Dell already. And Noah Brown and his limited action last year, he didn't work. Like I was a Noah Brown fan. I think I ended up picking him up on fantasy briefly for a minute there too. Like Noah Brown is out cold, and not out cold, like he's like superstar or starting anything like that, but like definitely like a viable body and a big body guy that Detroit Lions should consider picking up. Like, especially if we get into James Houston stuff. I put that out on decks today. I was like, hey, did you listen to Dan Campbell's post game presser?
No, I just read through it. I just read through some of the notes.
I might even try to send you a video, but
okay.
I'm sure you saw what he said about Houston. But if the intention's not to keep him, he still, I feel like, has some value around the league. Let's see. Can you get somebody for him? Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah, I think, and he's coming off, to me, his best game by far. So his value's at its peak right now. That is going to be at. It feels like because I'm with you. I don't see a chance that you cut Houston and he's back on the practice squad. I don't see that happening. You could just go off what he like. Anybody that becomes available that's had like 9.5 sacks a couple years ago, they're not just gonna get through every team in the league. And then he's coming off actually a really strong game. So that'll be an interesting one. But I hear you, like, because I saw the same things. I saw people talking about cutting Noah Brown from the Texans. I was always on the Robert Woods train, but honestly, I haven't kept up that well. I don't know what he's done over there, so I don't know if they're even considering that. I would want to keep Robert Woods if I were them, but that was the guy that I was big on.
How big is Robert Woods? Like, is he
he's like 6'1", 6'2". Like he's a little bit slimmer than like Peoples Jones. You know what I mean, like frame wise. Yeah. But I mean, it was when he was with the Rams, he was a wide receiver for them. He played wide.
He was straight. Honestly, I feel like he's kind of cooked, though. I'm not going to lie. Like,
well, if they think he's cooked, then don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's cooked. They might not think he's cooked. They might bring him in just to see. But, like, I think Robert Woods, like, there's a reason you haven't heard of his name too often. I think he got cut last year, too.
He was with the Titans, I think, 2 years ago. And he didn't have, like, a massively productive year. And then he goes with the Houston Texans. So that's someone that I'd be on board with just because, like, if it doesn't feel like the Josh Reynolds thing completely. But it also feels like there could be some of that still there because it's like he's older, so you're not getting like the upside like you had with Josh when you picked him up. But you are getting a guy that's like you just know exactly what it's going to look like. And it feels like if you sign somebody, say a week before the season starts to play receiver, how fast are they going to bring him along? Because like whoever we sign, if we're signing a guy to actually play like a legitimate role, they're not just going to be here for a couple weeks and doing nothing. Like I assume they're going to have a role on this team because there is like a glaring spot that's open. So if you only come in with 4, whoever you're signing probably is going to have a role immediately with you. So at least then with Robert Woods, you'd feel like, okay, he's going to fit in week 1. Like we can at least give him some reps. Because like I even think back to last year when I had Marvin Jones Jr. Like we kind of forget about him, but they did keep Marvin similarly, size. He played wide, and it's like okay, eventually you didn't need to keep him. He had his off the field stuff, but they had him. They wanted that body type, so I think it's on the table.
Yeah, the other thing too with Woods, I feel like he's another slot guy. If I'm not mistaken, I feel like he plays a slot.
He plays both. From what I've seen, he plays both.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, man. Here's my thing. I just want to look. I like Robert Woods personally,
bro.
Right.
Real quick.
Yeah,
it's a complex scheme, bro. And it's a complex scheme. That's the other
Yeah.
part that sucks. Honestly, though, I feel like Robert Woods would be able to click more because I know the scheme is kind of based off what Jared Goff can and can't do. And obviously, Robert Woods have had success with him or had success with JG before, but also know what type of, what's going on over here.
Hey, you saw that Inside the Den episode though. Easy 8. Goff looked big.
Honestly, I didn't watch it.
Oh man. All right. Well, maybe.
I wish it did one for the draft. That's when they should have did.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't my favorite. It was just kind of like highlights from joint practices. So it wasn't really like it started off cool. I was like, oh, this is about to be fire. And then it turned into like a Hard Knocks episode where it's like, all right, we're just watching highlights here. But
yeah.
I was like, okay, hey, Goff looks big, dude. Maybe he's throwing some bombs this year. Look, he got J-Mo. He's like, I'm hitting that weight room. You know what I mean?
There's going to be some this year for sure.
All right. Well, I'm fired up for it. If you believe it, it's happening.
If I, of all people, believe it, just know it's happening.
That's what I'm saying. If you think it's going to happen, it's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me. Oh, dude, I don't know what's going on. I got 4 tabs. Okay. I'm gonna start showing some plays here, and we could just kind of talk through these a little bit, and then I think we go to the 53. Then we can kind of like set it up a little bit. We'll give people a little bit to wait on. Hold on, let me get this on the side. What is going on, dude?
Real quick, while you're doing that too, Devin 99, I saw asked if I was going to any games this year. I'll be there opening night with Crackman. Shout out to Crackman who invited me out to join him. It is dope. That guy's a legend.
That's sick, dude. Yeah, Crackman's sweet.
He hit me up and said we're starting at 1 p.m. So be ready. So I'm gonna miss the rest of the schedule, slate, but it'll be worth it.
Dang, 1 p.m. Okay, yeah, that's
He gets down, man.
That's what's up. All right, dude, I can't read anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, so
You're
yeah,
good.
I'll just throw it on the screen. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Yes,
what I
we
was gonna
chant
say.
Stafford's roommate's name at him for sure. We got to figure out which quarterback it was, though. We got to be sure. That way, we're all in sync.
With what? Oh, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's my bad. I just cut you.
No,
off. I
you're
asked you a
good.
question.
No, I was saying something crazy.
Okay. It's good thing I cut you off. So DJ Reader is back officially, and I put that in the title because it happened right before we were live. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I was so excited because that's one of those where you're just like, well, he's supposed to be here at some point. You're just kind of waiting. You just don't have anything until it happens. And now it's like, bro, 2 weeks out. You're telling me this guy's off the active pup list. He's playing week 1. That's my takeaway immediately. I don't know, but dude's playing week 1, man. He's ready to go. I'm confident. I'm confident Reader's going to be out there and he's going to be rolling. They don't need to see him in the preseason because and to even like more so to that point that I believe they don't need to see him. I mean, they didn't play the starters at all in the preseason, man. Like I think they're cool with it. Like we don't need to see this guy. Peckle's a safety blanket, but DJ Reader is going to be out there rolling week 1. 2 weeks, man. Let's get it going.
Let's talk it. I have no problem speaking it into existence. I personally didn't expect that, but I'm going to speak it into existence alongside with you. But I agree with you. For a minute, it felt like when your dad was going to pick you up for the weekend, and you're like, he's coming. I know he's coming. You're just out there with your bag packed. He's not showing up. Just kidding.
Yo, no,
anyone else know what I'm talking about here? No. I'm playing. I never actually. Never mind.
Yeah. Dog, I gotta.
Dad's coming. I swear.
Hey, he's here, bro. He's here, dog. DJ Reed's gonna be crazy too.
He shows up at like 8:59. All right,
dog. I got a wild story about that, bro. I was at this is years ago. Like, it's cool. Like, no problem. But I was at I was at college, bro, and I didn't have like a phone, so like I couldn't call. And bro, I was getting dropped off at college after school, and they did not pick me up. So, bro, my class got out at like 3:30, dog. I was there till like 8 o'clock. I was like, I don't think they're coming. It's like, yo, this place is about to close, and I don't know what to do. It's like, do I just go outside?
Wait, so what happened?
bro. So I found a computer. It was dark in there, dude. Like it was nighttime, bro. I went upstairs, and I think it closed at like 9 or something. So like I gotta do this quick. So I ended up getting on the computer. I emailed my dad. I like emailed him through the computer, and I guess maybe at this time you were getting emails to your phone. Luckily,
You couldn't call him?
no, I didn't have no, dude. Honestly, in hindsight, I should have just like asked somebody for their phone. But like I was like, oh, okay, they're just probably a little late, and my phone did not call nobody. Like it didn't, it didn't call. I had a phone, but it couldn't call. Like so, it was just like
It's not a
I'm
phone.
Just,
That's like a
you know what?
that's
But I could play ice cream jump on it. So
it's
it
an
does count as
iPad
a phone.
or
Yeah, it was like
what
an
do you used to
iPod.
have? Yeah,
Basically
iPod.
an iPod. Yeah, it was a square
Jesus.
iPod. Yeah. So I know the feeling, man. I was left there. I was like, all right. I had a deck of cards. I was just like flipping cards, man. It was crazy, but we're good. We're here. We made it out. It was it was wild because I had basketball practice, and I remember they came over and they're like, "Oh, we forgot you. I'm sorry." And then they took me to basketball practice. They were like, "Bro, where were you at?" It's like they left me at school, dog. It's crazy. Hey, that's not normal, but it's all right.
That is
It's
messed
all
up.
good. We're here. Yo, so okay, as we're going through this, and I'm just showing plays, and I'll highlight some of the things that stood out to me. Tell me, like, maybe, like, give me some names, like, guys that stood out, stock up, stock down, that kind of thing. Just maybe some takeaways, too, because, like, for me, we got to see bet slot in this one. We didn't get to talk about bets after last week, but last week was just, like, kind of breakout, it felt like, game. But this game, for me, man, I'll tell you one guy right away, Mekhi Wingo, I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, this was by far my favorite game of Mekhi Wingo. I was like,
That's
bro,
my
he
guy.
actually looks legit in this one. So, where are you at? Like, does anybody stand out from this one?
Makai Wingo. I mean, that's the guy I was
Okay,
gonna go with. I actually didn't get to watch the fourth quarter of this game.
Yeah.
But Makai Wingo, Houston did get the one sack, but I didn't really get. I actually think he had a bad game at all, to be honest with you. But then the post game comments kind of caught me by surprise there. But in terms of the standouts, Makai, Hooker, once he finally got going, the running backs did really well too.
Yes, dude. Now, Jamar Jefferson had a day. Having him back was cool. Jamar Jefferson looks like the best Jefferson. Like, we didn't like used to do live streams in the past, but like Jefferson was my guy. So
Yeah, I
I always
remember.
pull for him. Yeah, okay. So but when he was back out there, bro, like he actually looked good this last week. I was like, that looks like the best Jamar I've ever seen. To the point where he might be on my 53 easy. I mean, there's a chance he's on the 53. I mean, you know what I mean? They do. You just might be. But no, I'm with you. Mekhi Wingo was awesome. And not seeing the fourth. So you're saying you didn't see the fourth quarter live?
Yeah.
Dude, like the fourth quarter, I think he had like 2 pressures in the fourth quarter alone. Like I thought like in the fourth quarter he started to pick it up as like a pressure piece. I just loved his run defense. So like, bro, and it's crazy that he's hanging like in here as a defensive tackle for them. He's like making it work. I didn't think it'd work. I thought like, oh, they're for sure gonna kick him outside just because of his body type. But they've like just let him handle it. Like, hey, let him do it. He seems to know how to do it. It's just like he's just gonna be a little undersized. He's got to work with it. He's making it work. I guess Brad Holmes knows what. Not say he's him, but similar build to Aaron Donald. He's got a very similar build to Aaron Donald.
You gotta be careful. I've been trying to say the kid. Who's the kid that got picked up by Tampa last year? A lot of people wanted
Elijah
him here.
Cansey.
Elijah Cansey. That's what I'm trying to go with. And a lot of people don't even know how good he is yet. I think he flashed what he was supposed to be last year. He just didn't play it the whole entire season.
Hey, he did some work as a pass rusher though last year. He did. It just it took him.
That's what I thought Makai was supposed to be. I mean, maybe he's playing more, obviously because it's preseason too. But like, I think his role is going to be like a third down
rusher.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, so I thought he was going to be the replacement for John Kaminsky, which I still think is kind of the path.
That's still up there, yeah.
Yeah. So, but like to see it now, like I don't know, like depending on what happens with Levi, like it's awesome to have him there now, knowing that. Okay, you're laughing. What was it?
I just read a couple comments. Yeah.
All right.
He's confirmed. I went
right.
viral in 2019. No big deal. What?
Oh, you went viral in 2018? Before easy.
Move on.
All right, so we got I gotta give another. Yo, all right, guy we haven't talked about at all, Chris Smith, man. I know this is random, but I thought Chris Smith was actually really good. Like to the point where I thought Chris Smith was better than Broderick Martin in this game, and he may have been that a little bit. Like, there's no chance I think that Chris Smith makes the team over Broderick. But if we are thinking about this, Chris Smith is out there before Broderick Martin. Like, could that be like a sleeper that we're not like when we think of the position battles? I think Campbell said like 6 spots or something. I don't think it's possible. Just because they drafted Broderick round 3 a year ago. But the fact that he is out there above Martin and just to see the way he's playing, it's like, okay, there's probably limitations here, but he's actually playing pretty well.
I straight up, I mean, I didn't have him on my 53, but I did notice him. Every time he was, honestly, like throughout the entire preseason, I was like, yo, who is that? Because every
Dude,
once in a while I thought it was Broderick. I'm like, yo, let's go Broderick. I'm like, oh wait,
Let's go, bro. Hey, you just assume, bro. And then
yeah,
all of a sudden it's like, bro,
that ain't,
Chris Smith be sneaky too, because
that
we've
ain't big
had him
body
around,
Brod.
man. Bro never gets no talk, man. I never talk about Roderick Martin, so apologize for or Chris Smith. Apologize,
I,
Chris Smith.
and I know we speak of it as a 53, but Dan Campbell speaks of it as a 69 because we'll pause,
True.
but because of the practice squad and whatnot too. So
Yeah.
I think Chris Smith would be part of that 69. No pun intended. 69, right? Or 63? Are you frozen?
All right. No, I'm with you, man. I think so. I think so. I think so too, man. I think he might be. It's one of those. It's one of those. It's one of those guys where we probably won't need him, but if we ever did, and Broderick Martin did get hurt, and I don't know if he returned. I don't think he returned in this game, so that's something to keep an eye on. I don't know if did we get any updates on Broderick?
Hyperextended knee.
Okay, so he might be down for a minute.
They don't think it's anything. They don't think it's anything serious, but.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you then right now. Did that affect? Did you put him on your 53 still?
Broderick Martin?
Yeah.
I think it's way too early to give up on that project. I mean, obviously,
I just meant for injury.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just meant for if you think he'll be out because of injury coming into the year.
Yes. I don't know. Hyperextended knee. I'm not really too familiar with off the top of my head. I'd have to look at some guys in the past who've dealt with that at that position. Like high ankle sprains. It's a nag. Some of the nags. Certain stuff like hamstrings. Hyperextended knee. I think he should be good. I don't expect him to get much PT though. I don't know if he's gonna get much run coming week 1.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think so either. I just because it feels like when you're making a 53, any extra spots are kind of nice. Okay, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we can open an extra spot here. But yeah, this first one, Pascal, give Pascal some love. Pascal been quietly kind of doing work. We know him the team. This was my favorites from Hooker, bro. This. You said it as Hooker, as the game got on, because I'm going to show some bad ones in here. But dude had 10 carries for 93 yards. To me, that's insane.
I mean, and what's crazy too is he's not even that type of run first guy. You know what I'm saying? He's
right.
I truly felt in college he was a guy who truly read the field and whatnot. It's that offensive line was so bad. At times he held onto the ball a little bit too long, embarrassing too long, especially as a Hooker supporter. But I'm fine with that. If Lamar Jackson can win MVPs that way, Josh Allen could play that way. I don't understand. It's not a negative for me. And Dan Campbell didn't say he didn't hate it either. He didn't. He's like, look, that's what he's got to do. I was even listening to Sorsdale after the game. He's like, yeah, it's nice to have a mobile guy back there. It's you're blocking, and the next thing you know, you got a first down. You're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah,
he moves the ball, man. He moves the ball, and
he's doing work.
We'll get into it. Yeah, I'm a Hooker stan though. You know that.
No, look, man, he's definitely had me okay, this dude's legit. This dude's legit quick. The speed at which he felt like he got up to his top gear in this game. It really through the preseason as a whole for not really seeing him. The guy looks like he's played before. There's no dude looks like he's played in the NFL before. But then I think, and it's it does make. The guy was old coming out of the draft too. I remember that being one of the knocks. But that's what you get with those guys. Those dudes look ready. This dude looks ready to play, man. He looks legit out there, and this was one of my favorite plays. Now, we had, real issue. He got sacked 5 times. One of them was definitely on him, I thought. But, we had some pass pro issues in here. I can show the list after, but for me, man, one of the weirdest things was Michael Neese. Because, it kind of felt like a lock for Michael Neese, who's at right guard here. And then he started to play center for us. Yeah. And I didn't think this was a good game for Michael Neese. I thought there were good things, but I didn't think it was a good game. So now I feel really weird. Do I keep Michael Neese? Kingsley's the last 2 weeks I don't think has done well, especially in pass protection. He's really shaky. It felt like a rough game really for everybody on the interior, which hasn't been the case over the first 2 weeks until we started to get to some of the depth. And then guys like Burton I thought were a little bit better. But the interior definitely struggled in this one. Clemens had it rough in pass pro, which has been his calling card. So I don't know. Any bold takes there, anything that stands out for you with the interior offensive line battle?
I know you talked about center there for a minute, and Kingsley is a guy that I didn't hate. I kind of liked, at least as a prospect.
Yeah.
But I think all those guys, I think we're keeping the same lineup as last year plus Manu. I really don't see no difference there. Just because all those guys I feel can make it past the waivers to make it back on your practice squad. It's not necessary to force them onto the team. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm with you. I think that's going to be a huge part of it. Yeah, you have to put yourself in that mindset because, nobody really stood up. It is hard to find offensive linemen, so, it's a weird balance because, if anybody does do well, I don't want to lose him. but nobody really was consistent week to week. I thought maybe Clemens would be, and then he wasn't. And then Hudson, who came in there at center, and I was like, all right. And then it was like the first 2 plays looked like a disaster. And I was like, dang, man, I thought he was going to be the guy. But this was rough start. Then, he settled in. Now, this was the sack. So this was the one that I was watching live, and I was like, okay, Clemens got beat here at left guard. But this is one like, okay, I don't know why he didn't throw the flat. Like when I'm watching this one, like I'm not, it is what it is, but he settled in. But like a play like this, I feel like we've seen this a few times with Hooker. I think I've seen this a few times where sometimes he doesn't throw the first read. Like it's like if he doesn't love it, he's like, let me get to 2. It's almost like in basketball where it's like I kind of like that first look, but I want to get something I love, so I'm gonna swing it.
I think in college he fell in love with those big plays because it felt like that's all they had. They were just knocking him out the park almost all the time.
Yeah,
but he's that type of player though. He's like that dynamic type of guy where that's the type of play he's gonna be looking for. It's just his rookie year. He's gonna have to learn to do that stuff. And again, in a situation where he's with the first team, I don't expect him to be holding on to the ball that long. Like those guys are actually gonna be able to get open.
Yeah, and to his credit, he's not throwing it into traffic. I'd rather you take the sack than he's just throwing it at somebody because he's like panicking. He's definitely not panicking. He's willing to just take the hit. Like he's gonna stand in there if he doesn't love it. So I'm not mad at it. But that first one,
maybe like some of them too, were him trying to force himself to go through the progressions rather than first instinct read because he wanted to show he can do it. Because I feel like that's what he gets in trouble for is just not going through the progressions.
Yep. Well, who Hendon Hooker?
Yeah.
You don't think he goes through the progressions?
Well, I think he does. I his timing of it, I guess. Like he's kind of
okay.
It's slower.
No, I get that. I definitely can see that because, like, even that flat one, for example, it looked like it was there. Because if you go back to it, like it looks
you see it right away.
You can see right they're in cover 3, right? So it's like, okay, he's pushing him up the field. There's no one in the flat. So it's like right here you could throw it, but to your point, it's like, all right, let me see if I can. Is he open? Maybe do I have to move him first? And then he doesn't love it, so he just doesn't throw it. But as the game went on, I'll show it in here that pass that he had to Zylstra. It's very forgettable. But he threw the one to Zylstra, and Zylstra had that stiff arm. I
remembered it. I like Zylstra.
He got that thing out immediately, man. It was like he probably didn't even need to get it out there. But as soon as he got the ball out, it was like, all right, he was like on top of it. So that's the cool thing about Hooker is it feels like he's getting better through games. It feels like he's learning though too. Outside of I want to see him slide more. I still do want to see him slide more. I hate seeing him get hit all the time.
More too. Yeah, he gets.
Those.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't even know what's wrong with that guy. He just don't want to slide.
Dude, man, he does, and it makes me think back because I don't remember him sliding much at Tennessee. I don't think we've seen him slide yet. Like he kind of like
once all preseason.
Okay, he has
twice.
Okay. That's good.
Once last week and then this week, but he still kind of got hit on his slide as well this week.
Yeah. He like kind of like started to slow down. It was like he was gonna slide, but then he got like smacked from behind.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
It's like, dog, if you like start sliding, that's a flag. You know what I mean? So you're getting yards on that because as soon as you start, he can't hit you. But like, he kind of like did it weird. It was.
I'm telling you, man, he just wants a home run every time, bro.
He's got the right mindset, but he wants, dude. That's the cool thing. He wants the home run, but he's also taking care of the football. Like he doesn't get like all over the place. Like he's taking hits, so maybe take care of yourself, but he takes care of the ball.
What'd you think of that deep ball he had to? I'm sorry, I know you wanted to play the place.
Fountain.
Yeah, what'd you think of that?
I mean, look, I'm seeing it live. I thought maybe he could have put more on it, but I also thought like, well, he gave him a chance. Like he gave him a very catchable ball. I like the fact that he took the shot.
Yeah,
it was a pretty throw, and then also I thought Fountain did a really nice job of like clear himself out at the catch point. Like he got himself open really because it was contested. He kind of made himself some space. He gave himself the chance to make that grab. He just didn't make the grab. So like I thought it was good on both parts, and the fact that he just didn't finish. What'd you think?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was too. I think he could have put a little more on it, but obviously there's still the opportunity to catch it. And then I guess out from that one too, which I thought it was a beautiful ball, but obviously again still could have put more on it. But it was on him,
Yeah.
Other thing too, there was one actually where I think it was a rollout, and maybe it was Zylstra that he missed. He could have just put it like on him, but he kind of like put ahead of him too much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Isaiah Williams on the interception that he had. This is how I view interceptions. For me, it's a little bit different. I think there's interceptions where you just intercepted, right? Or there's picks. And for me, picks are like when it's up there, someone takes advantage of it.
Okay.
And that's like the Williams interception. A little bit in front of him, but Williams slowed down. If you were watching, he slowed down a little bit.
We'll show it. Yeah.
Okay, you got it. We'll get to it then. I apologize.
No, you're good. I'm just listening because I'm trying to hear the difference between. So you're saying a pick is pick is more so like the offense mistake. Interception is more so they're taking it away.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah. I mean, I guess I'd have to find a different way of wording that. Maybe I'll find a different word. But like, yeah, I think a pick. Like for me, I have interceptions. And I have picks. Interceptions, quarterback's fault. Pick.
Gotcha.
Someone took advantage of a ball in the air. Someone just tapped the ball. You know what I'm saying, and they.
Someone fell down on the route.
Yeah.
Got tipped to the line.
Exactly.
Okay.
Weird stuff like that.
Some of the golf ones last year against the Bears.
The one against the Bears. That's a perfect one. The one to Laporta.
Laporta, yep.
Laporta got pushed down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't abuse him for that. Yeah.
I didn't say he did.
I keep it a buck. Hey,
no, I completely agree with you, bro. No, the interceptions are not created equal. And this is so side rant, but like the one that we heaved up, it was like 4th and 30. You know what I'm talking about? Like heaved it up. And bro, like this is where Bears fans get me or whoever it is, and they start like bringing up total numbers. Like I get you, but there's got to be some context to that. I get why you're doing it because if I was a Bears fan too, I'd be like, bro, hold up, we picked this dude off 3 times, and some of them were legit. But like the last one, bro, like what did you want him not to throw the football? Like, oh, don't throw it in the traffic. It's 4th and 100. Like, of course he's just gonna throw it out.
It's like a Cowboys fan, like, yeah, we beat you last year, haha. Like, okay, well
yeah, they don't.
Yeah, some context.
Cowboys fans I speak to don't even feel good about that. They're just. I don't know if you speak it to some that are hype about that. The ones that I've spoken to are like, okay, yeah, but that one was.
Oh, they claim it.
They claim it.
Cowboy fans are the worst.
You got the wrong Cowboy fans in your life, man. If they're claiming that,
they're all the wrong Cowboys fans. Well, if we could just Thanos snap them away, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, bro, that's true. That's true. Dude, okay, Pascal jumped this by the way, which is cool. Another guy, bro, underrated, Pat O'Connor. Dog, I know we're all over the place here, man, but I thought Pat O'Connor was really good in this game, and I feel like Pat O'Connor's like popped a few times. But then all of a sudden, like, you just start to, like, notice these guys, and you're like, man, it's kind of consistent. Like, Pat O'Connor here, I'm watching him work through that. I'm like, dog, he's not going to make the team because the defensive line's loaded. But I love watching stuff like that because I'm focused on Betts, and I'm like, well, how's Betts holding up? And you see him, taking on the offensive lineman, and Summers is doing work. But then here comes
you saw the other white guy.
yeah, you're like, who's that dude?
Yeah.
Bro, that ain't Matthew Betts. Hold up, that dude's massive. And it's like, yo, it's Pat O'Connor. And Pat O'Connor don't do much as a pass rusher. He definitely stops the run. I'm a fan of Pat O'Connor. Another guy. Please get him back on the practice squad. That's where I'm at with it. Get him back on the practice squad because he plays defensive tackle, but he also plays on the edge. Like that guy, I think is going to be on the 69. If we can,
nice.
If we well, that was it. Yeah, that was. Hey, okay. Let's keep going. Okay, Giovanni Manu. Now, I don't think he'll probably be graded out well from this one and stuff like that. But I thought when watching him, like, okay. It feels like there's things that he's building on. It feels like there's things that he's getting better at. There's still ugly stuff in there. I thought like the biggest issue for me, there was multiple times where guys just like blew him off the line. They just went right by him and he got
especially
himself in
the
trouble.
first team defense. Good Lord.
Yes. But when I watched Manu and as a run blocker, like whenever he was on the play side, like it was like he wasn't getting up to the second level or he wasn't moving his guy and then they would shoot it and they'd have to cut back all the time. But I still felt like Manu, like he still showed
grown.
so much of yeah, man, he's getting better. His hands are getting better. It feels like he's protecting the inside much better now. And then you see some of that footwork and stuff, and you're like, okay, he's recovering under control. Like it looks a lot better. And Manu's coming along, man. Skipper's gonna make the team. But he's coming along.
I think that speaks to the athlete he is, because like sometimes it takes guys a lot longer than what it has for him. And Swartzdale, perfect example.
Yes,
Swartzdale's been here 2 years now, and we're still kind of like. Waiting for him to get it. Where Manu has shown progression just in the last like 3 weeks, and I just think he's got that control of his body like that. He honestly, he might be the new Skip, and I'm not talking about Skip like I think he'll be better than Skip for sure. Let me say that first. But I just think like as you like your extra tackle out there. I mean, how Skip was out there for like the pass play. Like let's have his athletic ass out there. Yeah. Maybe catch one. You
think right now or in time? In time, I'm 100% with you for sure.
I think even as I mean, obviously in time, yes, because like this is a whole different level of football for him for sure. But I just think even a couple gadget plays, like when Panay caught that, just little weird stuff like that. I think Manu would be perfect for that. He's very athletic.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not, especially if it was like towards the season, like if he's getting better in practice, because like. He does look better. Like he looks like he's getting better. And I think offensive linemen, like when you really like dive into like how long it usually takes offensive linemen to actually progress outside of first rounders.
Yeah.
A lot of times it does take multiple years for those guys to actually become those guys.
Yeah.
Outside of first rounders. So it makes sense that he's taking time, but it feels like he is actually getting better. And every game I feel better about Giovanni. First game was a disaster, but every game I'm feeling better. It's like this doesn't look too bad.
Dude, you know what's crazy is we're not rostering a fullback this year, and they talked about maybe a tight end or whoever else.
Mm-hmm.
How about Manu? Get
Manu is
Big G
fullback.
back there. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
here
get
for it,
creative.
dog. No,
I'm
I'd
here
hand
for
him
it
the
too.
ball if we're gonna do. He's getting the football at least once. He's
I'm cool
definitely
with
carrying
that
the football
too.
one time. Yeah, yeah, because like a little fullback dive or bro. Nah, you got to give Manu the ball at least one time. I'm with it. I mean, what do you? Okay, well, real quick on side note, then, do you think Mel Rodriguez could still get some reps there? Like, say they don't keep Parker Hesse, like, could
Yeah,
Malcolm still be in play for that?
absolutely. I think he did I mean, I guess I can't say phenomenal because I never
But better
look
than
back.
Kabinda?
Yes, yeah,
I
I think
think
he
so
has better
too.
hands than Kabinda, and I don't think Hesse makes a team.
Wow, you just spoiled the whole 53 right there. Might
I'm
as well
sorry.
just skip it. All right,
I
guys, we're
should
about
have.
to end the show.
My God. Oh, I always do this.
Yeah, I don't even want to show my 53 anymore.
No wonder why
'cause
my dad
that's-
didn't pick me up.
That's hey, okay, bro. Now hold up. So I just talking like again, the interior was messy in the beginning. That's the best way to put it. Like here with Kingsley, and then Clemens not passing us off over here, and like plays like that, like it stinks because it's like okay, as fans, it feels like a lot of times if you get a couple receptions from a receiver, at least in the preseason, you can speak much highly of him. Like you can talk yourself into it. And it's like if he gets that reception, he gets a first down, maybe we're just like, okay, but hey, he did do that one thing. You kind of remember something, but there's nothing to even grab onto here because it's like this is the only time he actually got thrown the football, I think, in the game. Or no, the other one that he dropped that will show.
Yeah, he dropped one straight up.
He dropped one, man.
The little comeback.
Dude, okay, see, this is where Michael Nice was losing me, man, because I'm watching him like zone block. I'm like, oh man, his vision's there, he looks good. But then watch him here, watch him pull. Easy. I don't know if you saw. I'm like, bro, what are you like? Who's he blocking? Like that threw me off because that's the thing about Nice. It's like, oh, he could do all these different things, and I'm watching plays like this. I'm like, I don't even know what he's looking at. It just so it was messy, and to me, Nice is the one where I thought for sure he was a lock. Then after last week, I was like, ooh, maybe there's some guys competing. And after this week, I'm like, I guess it just depends on how many they keep because I don't think Nice is in or out right now. Like they put him at center seemingly. Like we got to see if he can play there, but not playing KO told me KO's making the team. But because I thought that about Nice after seeing the amount that he played, it was like I don't think Nice is a lock at all to actually make this team. And this last week I don't think helped. Maybe he didn't have the best week and it's easier to get him back on the practice squad. Maybe that's a positive way to flip this. Hey, positive other two here is Jamar Jefferson doing work. That's what I'm saying. Jamar Jefferson looked good, man. He looked shit. What? That ain't Jamar Jefferson, dog. Are you kidding me? Hey,
We saw that his rookie year.
no, he might be on the 53 easy.
Actually,
no, okay. Thank
the
you, bro.
Steelers was the game he popped out.
He popped in that game, and then we never saw him again. It was like, dude, he was awesome. And then they just, it's like, okay, bro, what are we doing? Jamar Jefferson's that dude. He won't be on a 53, but I hope he sticks around.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll stick around. Oh my
yeah,
God.
see, we had some ugly, man. Yeah, and I had
that
notes,
was
but I kind of lost them.
gross.
Yeah, okay. Clemens, again, late here, and then you see Kingsley kind of lose the block. Since I said Kingsley had it rough, man, especially early. Like the little push-pull there got him. I mean, they just right in his face, dude. So, like, to me, this game didn't help Kingsley at all. I thought Kingsley was kind of...
Hold on, go back. 92 just jumped at nothing there on the Steelers defense. Hold on, let me see that again. Was Hooker there? Then not? I mean, what happened there?
Right here? I think he thought maybe he was going to throw it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay, that makes more sense.
Hey, bro, Hooker's slippery, dog. He is slippery, though. Like, a lot of his biggest runs were him, like, a free rusher, and he just make him miss.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I guess he's doing his thing. Because like I'm watching, like, oh, get the ball out of your hands. Then he makes a miss. All right, I guess don't. I mean, he makes the first guy miss all the time. I guess in theory you should.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, not all the time. Not all the time.
Yeah.
That you saw that Fields one. I was like, oh, we got a sack, and then there was like 4 dudes, and he just like wouldn't go down. That stuff drives me nuts with Fields, dog. You think you got a sack, and then it takes like 5 guys to tackle him. It's like this is stupid.
I don't even. It's with Fields. It's he is.
He's a handful, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You can't like the plays is never over, dude.
Honestly,
handful. All right, got to give some more love. Okay, so we haven't really talked a ton on James Houston. We'll get to it. I don't want to spoil the 53, but to me, by far, James' best game. And the note that I made was James Houston say he gets 3 pressures. I think he puts himself back in a conversation making the team. PFF had him with 3 pressures in this game. But then at the same time, I didn't think he was dominant against the run. Like, I thought he did a nice job. He looks a little bit heavier. He doesn't look as, like, lean and shifty as he did, like, when we first saw James Houston. But He also, I thought, did a really nice job, like with just his positioning to make himself be able to handle like tackles at the point of attack a little bit. Like he showed some bull rush a little bit too, like not as like a straight bull rush, but just getting guys off balance. I thought that version of James Houston kind of showed up in this one. He looked like he was able to kind of hold his own a little bit better than what I expected. Like I think of James, sounds like, oh, he's not gonna be able to handle anything against the run. Like this is gonna be a mess. But then you see it and you're like, actually, this wasn't too bad. Like it wasn't great, but it was serviceable. And then again, hey, Chris Smith, bro. Hey, Chris Smith was doing work. Is this Chris Smith right here? Look at him. Come on, bro. And then they got outside of Agude over here. I mean, that whole
Man, he let me down this game.
Agude and then Bassey. I don't know what Bassey's doing, bro. You can't come back inside here, but I mean, Agude let you down.
Had an awful game.
Yeah, our corners did not. They didn't shine. We'll say that it wasn't the Gilmore did some things as a run defender, but they didn't shine.
Yeah. Now, Vildor and no Vildor or Dorsey in that game, right?
It's weird.
We'll get to it later.
Dude, I'm telling you, not seeing Vildor threw me off. I was like, okay, now I don't know what's going on.
I was happy. I was like,
ooh, okay, you're a Vildor guy, huh?
Yeah, it's my guy.
That's awesome.
It's not my guy, but I think he gets an unfair rap.
See, look, this is why you're here. You know what I mean? This is why you're here because you're a golf guy. You think that he's top three. Vildor is legit, bro. Like not legit, but Vildor is good depth, man. Vildor is good depth. But he also feels like, okay, we know that he's not going to take the ball away very much, but he does his job. He does what he does he's very consistent, and you know exactly what he's going to be. He's going to contest pretty much everything. He's going to be very physical. He's long, and he's going to tackle. He just may not always make a play on the football. So a great throw is going to beat him. He might have some PIs, but he's going to be next to the receiver.
Yeah.
He catches it, but he's going to be next to him. I give it to him, man. He's consistent.
Dude, and he's only like 26, 27. Like, he probably could grow a little bit too. Not physically, but I'm talking about as a player.
Dude, this is his coach. He's back with his coach now. He's back with his secondary coach. So he's reunited, man.
Townsend?
Yeah, like I could see them, like him having a good word for him. Like, yeah, let's keep that guy around because I think that he was there when they drafted him.
Yeah,
when he was initially drafted. Yeah, bro. So again, like you see Houston here, man. Like Houston was honestly holding his own. Houston didn't look out of place.
This is the best game,
dude. I was so promising, man.
Making plays in the run. It was.
Hey, this was Bet's best play. By the way, I give this more to the left tackle, just getting off really late here. I don't know what he's doing, but Ty Summers. Bro, Ty Summers, like I think he's been good. Ty Summers been good, since stepped in week 2. Now second straight week, but he's also blitzing well too. I think that helps him because you think about like flexibility lines like to blitz their linebackers. That dude is always around the football, and I don't think Ty Summers feels like I felt with Bo playing. There were times where it felt like he was over aggressive in this game, but there was also a lot of good. With Ty Summers, I don't feel like he's over aggressive very much, but he also is always around the football. Like he's got a really nice balance. The linebacker room is tough too. Like, do you see there being any potential surprises at the linebacker room? Because Ben Neiman didn't play, so it makes it feel like he's a lock.
That's a surprise for me. Ben Neiman not playing, just because I feel like there's so many other rooms. Like one of the when I did my 53, a room that I wanted to have an extra body in on the offensive side, I had to cut because I knew Ben Neiman sat out this game, meaning he's probably making the roster.
Yep, I'm with you, and it's the weird thing of not having Rodriguez, so you kind of just feel like he's here. But yeah, Ben Neiman sitting out and Ben Neiman's played well, so I think he's earned it. It's just like it's almost like if Ty Summers was here week 1, are we looking at it differently? Like does he actually have a chance to maybe make this team?
The other thing too is like I still love Calvin Shepard. I do think he's a phenomenal coach, but like this year, every single linebacker it felt like did really well. Even like Malik Jefferson before he got hurt. There's another gentleman too before he got hurt. But then I was like, wait, like, there's no way he's coaching these guys. Yeah, Gilbert, thank you. There's no way he's coaching these guys up this soon. Maybe it's Terrell Williams, and that defensive line is helping these guys fly around a lot more because they're a lot more aggressive, actually filling holes and whatnot. Because all these linebackers are shine. It's crazy.
They've all looked good, man. Absolutely. It's like maybe it's more so because it's preseason. Like I don't want to minimize it though, man, because. Like some of these guys don't Ty Summers is a freaky athlete, Jefferson was too, but Ben Neiman's not. Ben Neiman's not like a freaky athlete, neither is, I don't think Bo Plan is either, but they just like play with their hair on fire, man. And they look like, dude, this guy, you know what? Bo Plan remind me of Jared Davis a little bit. And that's not a bad thing. I don't say it in that bad way. Like with Jared Davis at his best, when you thought of him as a Lion, it was he's downhill. he might be out of place, he might get blocked up, which Boldplay did a couple times. But when you see him, it's because he's in the backfield making a play on somebody. That's what Boldplay gave me the vibes of. Like that game he had to step in against Jets and he was kind of good. It was like he's just getting downhill. That's what I thought Boldplay was. Like he's just making it work. If there's anything, I think they know how to evaluate linebackers because everybody they brought in, to your point, was at very least serviceable. But I thought they were all pretty good to like what you said.
Yeah.
Okay. This was another, kind of pass. See, this is what I was talking about with Manu, man. Like, sometimes he's getting off the ball late like this, then he gets around again. But I still like the control, though. Like, this kind of stuff, like running him out of pocket, but he's not, like, turning and running. I love that stuff from him. That stuff was cool, man. And that's where the upside comes in. Then we had the James Houston sack, which, easy. Have you ever seen a play like this? You let me know.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, I don't.
Usually he's usually coming out of the outside, but he's a speed guy.
What is the offense doing here?
A little wing T action. Is that what that is?
I don't know what this is. I guess. Well, I guess they're like trying to like fake the draw and they maybe get a shot play. Maybe that could work actually.
That looks like a goal line play or something. I don't know what's going on there.
That's where it threw me off. It's like I don't know what they're trying to do here. I mean, I guess maybe it could have worked, right? Maybe he could have beat Gilmore here, but this feels like disaster waiting to happen. I don't know.
If Goff,
it was. Go ahead.
All right, question, Dion. Be honest.
I'm always honest, easy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If Goff plays with that third string, he's getting cooked.
Yesterday?
Yeah, with that third string offensive line, even the receivers outside Isaiah Williams.
Trying to think, are you talking about like the very end of the game, like when Fromm was in there?
No, I'm just talking about just the general, the comments right now rolling through, like Hooker, like the offensive line was just awful.
Oh, dude, no, Hooker thrived because of how bad the offensive line was in. Like, but he did a good job. Like some of the plays broke down, he did his thing. He was built for a disaster, right? Like he could just make something out of nothing. I don't disagree. I think he was. That's because that's not consistent. Like if your offense is that, you're going to be a terrible team. If that's what you look like every week, you're not going to win football games.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I don't want to put any quarterback in that, but he made something out of nothing because he's a good athlete, man, and he was smart. He's super decisive too. Like in terms of like when to take off, like he's pretty decisive and he's slippery. Like he made it work, man. He wasn't like he did. It's not like he took the snap and like his intention was let me see if I could take off here. It was like let me see if I could find somebody, and then it was like last resort. But it wasn't. It never felt like it got in his head like I have to run. You know what I mean? It never felt like that. Like he was forcing it.
Yeah, that just the stuff with the YouTube chat getting kind of crazy there with the.
They know what time it is. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna turn it off. I can't read that stuff.
Well, okay, I think there's a turn off button. So
I just hop over to private chat, so I gotta read the ignoramus. Like, what are we doing, guys? Come on.
Okay, wait, easy. Hold on. Let me give some more love, dog, because we gave love to players. Lauren Strickland has been my guy. This is like the most random thing ever. But even a play like this to me, I'm like, Lauren Strickland, you're that dude, bro. I'm gonna show some good ones. But like the awareness, bro. Like to me, like look at this. I know that's whack, all right? Like, oh, he didn't really do anything. But I just thought like the awareness of like, oh, that receiver's taking off. Let me drop back a little bit. He just feels what's going on. That's what I like about him. I don't know. I think Strickland, bro, you're about to find out. I don't want to, spoil anything, but about to find out, is it? All right, that was a Peoples Jones drop. Okay, so for some reason this one cut off, but I was gonna show. I thought the ball placement was good here, like because like we could talk about the drop, which is true, and actually the cornerback. I don't think he was reading the quarterback's eyes. He could have been because he did stare it down, but he may have been just reading Peoples Jones' route and just expecting it. Some film study there, good for him. But because Peoples Jones ain't really sudden, so when he sits down, he's not sudden. So if you're sitting off man with Peoples Jones, like he's not gonna shake you on those plays. You're gonna see him sitting down. But the flip side was like where Hendon Hooker put this ball, which wasn't picked, outside shoulder, man. Put that right towards the outside shoulder. It's like if he puts that inside, maybe this does get picked. But he puts it outside shoulder, falls incomplete off his hands. It was catchable ball. So like to me, even something as basic as that, like as quick as he got it out there, the ball placement was on point. And that to me was a great example of what Hendon Hooker was in Tennessee. He's going to put the ball in the spot where the defender can't get it. And I thought that play was a good example because he put it right on outside shoulder, so it was not picked off.
He's given time. He's extremely accurate.
Dude, like he's in rhythm.
Yeah, man. I wish we could have seen him with the second offense. I really want to see if he go deep or at least vertical a little bit more. I'm just curious if he can. I just want to see at the NFL level.
Oh, you mean Because he kind of was with the second. Oh, I don't know what you mean. You gotta explain what you
Well,
mean.
because this was like it was like more the threes. Like so a lot of the second guys, like some of the second guys are missing. Like Manu starting. Kingsley was he playing center
King. Okay, actually, yeah, Kingsley. But Okay, Kingsley
previously?
was their starting center. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like this game they switched it all up. Some of the second string guys like would have been second string, typically playing preseason, sitting out like Neiman. A couple guys,
Okay.
guys that would have been playing weren't playing. Even second string dudes. It was all mostly third team guys. I guess. I guess I just want to see with somebody who could win off the ball or off win their routes more consistently, vertically, I should say.
I'll say this, man. Yeah, I don't remember what I was gonna say. I really was gonna say something that was good, but I forgot what it was. My bad. Damn,
I swear it was
I had
good though.
something good, dog. It was heat. I was pretty fired up to say that, and I don't remember. Okay, I'm gonna let this start rolling a little bit just for time reasons, but this was
Yes.
nice. And Sorstel did a good job. Sorstel did a good job, like run block. He actually had some good run blocks in here, which hasn't been consistent, but that was nice. Kind of the little down block here. And then Isaiah Williams cooked this man, absolutely cooked this man. He didn't really do much like pass catching today, but or in this game. But like that little shake and zone coverage, man. Like I don't know. I think we're on the same page. Isaiah Williams feels like a lock. He's gonna make it. Then this was the nasty scramble by Hooker, which again was the same thing. Like I'm watching this and I'm thinking, oh, dude, you got to throw it to the flat. And then I understand why he didn't throw it to the flat, and I can understand why they didn't pick this up in pass protection too, because they slid. The blitzer came late, but it's like
Oh yeah, I
that
don't even get that
slipperiness,
off.
dude.
Yeah.
That slipperiness was a problem, man.
Dude,
It's like
Goff's giving you
sometimes
that
that's gonna
same
happen.
thing with that third
Well,
string line. Goff's gonna give you that same run.
okay, well I'll give you this. If we had to ever put a third string offensive line out there, we could go with Hooker. I'm cool with it. We'll keep Goff healthy. We don't need to do all that. No, because I'll even give you this. If this was Goff, we're probably getting sacked here. Like he
You said
might
it.
throw this to the flat, but I think there's a legit chance he's just taking a sack here because I can see like how this doesn't get picked up. Like you probably should, but I can see how it doesn't. So if
Yeah.
that doesn't get picked up and he doesn't like the flat, which I can kind of understand he doesn't, he's gonna take a sack there. Like we saw it against Baltimore, he'll just take a sack.
Yeah.
But like Hooker just can kind of slide out of there. So just some of the special quality. This was beautiful too. This nice little touchdown.
Yeah, it was. I think his version of the slide is falling forward too. Like even on that one, he's like you see.
Like kind of diving forward.
Yeah, maybe he's trying. Maybe he's hoping he hit the end zone there. I don't know.
Oh,
That's
you
cool.
mean on the big scramble? This one.
Yeah. Like
Oh yeah, I think he was trying to score a touchdown.
yeah.
He thought he
Yeah,
was
that's
getting in
probably
there
what-
for sure.
I
Yeah,
do
think
just
that-
wish
that
he'd
was
slide
tight.
more.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. They got to get him to start sliding, bro. Good thing is he's not like it's not like he should be taking those every week because he'll be the backup. But
Yeah.
like he'll have time to heal. I guess that's the
Yeah.
positive. Like, take your hits, dude, because you're probably gonna be, when you're gonna be in for a week, hopefully, and then you're gonna be back out, so you'll have time to heal.
I don't know how Josh Allen does it, man. Lamar
He's
either.
Still different, man.
Well, because the other thing too is like you're tired after
Lamar slides though. Lamar's
Yeah,
crafty.
Lamar
though.
does slide.
He is tough to hit. He gets out of
He,
bounds all
like,
the time.
that. It feels like he moves. You ever see those like superhero movies where time like freezes and they're just like walking around like messing with people's glass? I feel like that's Lamar Jackson sometimes when he runs. He's so quick, man.
Dude, yeah, Lamar's awesome to watch running, bro. Lamar is awesome to watch running. He's not the passer Golf is, but we all know that. We don't need to go down that road. Let's just
Yeah.
we'll just focus. Oh, this was the one. Okay, so like this one, like I can understand why they didn't pick this up. Right, like the split zone fake, and then linebacker comes through late, and I'm like, all right, I get this, right? James Mitchell doesn't see him, so he blitzes on the play, but still, like he's got a guy in his face, and he delivers a good ball, man. It's a good ball. Ate that. He's had that since he stepped in for us. Is that kind of like poise in there, just to eat the shot? He's gonna get the ball off, or he's gonna try to take off.
Which from watching practice, I mean, even when you and I were there, I didn't expect to see that. He looked a lot more poised than what I expected to see because in practice it felt a lot sloppier.
Yeah, yep. And so I mean, look, maybe he's just practice. He's getting better, man. Like
Yeah,
like we
when the lights are on.
guys are able to get better. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it's almost like sometimes maybe you see a guy in practice and you kind of like have your things for him. It's like, oh, that's who he is. But it's like he could actually grow. Like he could actually figure it out. And it feels like he's just figuring it out, man. Because like this, when I saw this play back, I was like, because I'm watching it live, I'm like, I don't know what happened here. But then you watch it back, like, oh, this play design makes a ton of sense. But you see how decisive Hooker was, which I liked. And then he's able to just kick into, all right, let me use my legs. But he wasn't forcing it. It wasn't like immediate response, even though it looked like it. Because like here, right, it's almost like they wanted the chip with Zylstra, and then they wanted to run to the flat. So you get the read fake there. and then he takes off. And it's like here, if Zylstra can chip like this so he can get out and then run into the flat, now he can hold on and make a decision because if this guy dives down, he's got the touchdown. You know, if he drifts back, he can just dump it underneath. But then once he sees that he's on the ground, he's still holding him downfield. Like he's this is where your best. I think the best runners do this, where they have that ability to like move the pocket or like get outside the pocket like this, but they do a nice job of. It's like that one where he had the weird pump fake where he almost fumbled, but he made a good play out of it. Where because their intention is not to run immediately, it's like they have that ability to sell the pass all the way to the last second, which creates more room for them. It's like opens up their own run alley rather than just tucking it and taking off right now. So that defender has to keep backing up because instead of having Zylstra do the job of like, oh, he can pull the defender down, he basically makes that happen himself by showing that I might throw this football. So this guy still is playing between. He still can't dive because now it's like, well, I can still go to Davis. So he kind of creates like the in between by himself on a play like this.
It's smart.
Super smart. It's like the what is that? Instincts? I'd say that's more instincts, right? Like that's just like a gamer, bro. Like he gets it. Like I'm gonna because this is the guy we want in conflict. I'm gonna do it myself, even though Zylstra fell. And now because I have my legs, like in a play like that where Goff's threat, he can still give you the same threat, but he may not get the first down. He could try to hold it out, but they can kind of track him down. He knows that they can't track him down, so he can just keep. They can just keep rolling with it. Like, I'm going to sell this thing, and I'm going to give you the same fake that basically we were trying to set up here anyway. That's pretty awesome. Give him some more Colby Sorstal love. I didn't think it was a great game, but, like, my issue with Colby has been run blocking this point, and I thought this was pretty good. There's Hudson, and then Clemens had a nice one here. Also, Maurice Alexander will block, dude. That's the one thing about Maurice, too. Like, you talk about the dirty plays. This guy will block. Sometimes he doesn't block the right guy, but he will block. You know what I mean? There's Uku making a play.
Speaking of making things, we'll get to that later. Uku, shout out.
Okay. Uku made something? Did he make a baby?
He made. Oh, whoa.
Well, I don't know. Congratulations. Hey, congratulations, Uku. We see you, dog. We see you doing work, man. Hey, look, man. I said I gotta give some Strickland love. I'm gonna wrap this quick, but I wanted to show these easy because like these are like the plays I feel like can get overlooked, but he's working, bro. Here's their boy Agude, who he's here a little disappointed in. Pat O'Connor. He was initially in a good spot, then he got to kind of push off the line here. But you see how like Strickland's like in the mix here. I love him when he's playing downhill because then you're gonna. Oh, this is the interception. All right, you can talk through this one. But to me, when I see this, the one thing I'll point out when I saw it back is he knew Isaiah Williams was slowed down because Isaiah Williams had already slowed down to this point. So, like, when I see it, like, if you look right here, he's already slowing down. So when the ball's in front, then he kind of, like, launches late. Whether or not he was supposed to slow down, he was already slowing down, I think, when Hooker saw him, right? So maybe it was like a instinct of, like, oh, you weren't supposed to slow down, so I'm going to put it at this spot.
Yes.
Or maybe it was, and then the timing's off because it's like, you're not really, he's like running at a different speed than what you're used to, so you're still throwing it, even though you could see that he's already slowing himself down because he clearly lunges late. He's already slowing down. Like, he's already sat himself down. And I can understand, like, also why they would want him to sit down because if he runs through this, he's running into your other receiver and you're pulling himself back into that coverage. So I can understand, like, once he opens up, like, hey, settle kind of in, let him create that, spot for you. Let's keep spacing rather than kind of going on top of each other. But what'd you see here?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I said I think the 22 would help us out a lot more, but it's.
Yes.
I think obviously he doesn't slow down. That doesn't happen, and I think a little bit of just repetition in that play. He threw it ahead of him, and it seemed like he had threw it at the stem of the route. It's like maybe he wasn't expecting him to slow down for sure or not, but it was just. I mean, it's a mistake, man. I mean, both guys. It's kind of on both guys. I think I didn't listen to Hooker's part of it, but I listened to Isaiah Williams on it, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, I should have slowed down there. It's kind of on me." But I think I read a quote or at least a tweet or something from Hooker who was like, "Yeah, I also could have put it on him instead of throwing it ahead of him."
So there you and that's okay, right? Like it's like two young guys, but it's like Isaiah Williams. Maybe he wasn't supposed to do that, but he kind of felt the opening. And then at the same time, it's like Hendon Hooker could have seen it. So it's like you still want to be like human. Like, don't be a robot. You can see that he's slowing down, put it on him. And he like threw it to the spot. It's like, okay, he's not going to get to that football. So yeah, I'm cool with it. Hey, Pat O'Connor, though, easy. You see him working, dog. Hey, look at this dude. Bro, we got to give him love. He had him like 5 yards behind the line.
Wow.
Summers gets it, and then look at Strickland. Bro, Strickland's a missile. Watch Strickland here. Easy, you tell me what you see. Because this is going to be a big run, but watch Strickland be slippery. Watch this. Oh, my goodness. Like right there, I was like, oh, Strickland, you
Was
might have
that
to make the 53.
was that Strickland or Summers who got that one sack? I mean, Betts was there too, actually.
That was Summers.
Summers.
Yep. Alexander was doing work at the end there.
That was a good grab right there.
Bro, he had some nasty grabs, man. Jefferson did his thing.
Those fumbles really killed
Chris
Alexander.
Smith again. Oh yeah, the punt return fumble, right?
Yeah.
Kind of took him out of that race. Like, you're not going to be the punt returner.
Yeah.
That's
Which
not
was
a
like,
thing.
it felt like his only hope.
You think
So
so?
it's whatever. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, a couple more. This is what I'll say with Manu. Like, he doesn't get up to the linebacker, so every time it like forced a cutback, and then like Hudson, like early, it was kind of a mess, but then it settled in, and Hudson was better at center. I was a Hudson guy, so like the first two were a disaster, but then it settled in, it got better, like this one. See, tight ends doing their job. Calhoun had some reception. Calhoun's done his thing when he's gotten the ball thrown to him. Like we go back to the first game, he drew the DPI the one time. There's
Yeah.
no plan. He just hasn't got enough opportunities, really.
He looked rough against KC too.
Wingo.
Look at that.
Calhoun?
Yeah,
That was your guy right there. He's doing work.
I love Wingo. Big Wingo guy.
Wingo. He was another guy. Just felt like he was getting better.
Honestly,
Yeah, he
the
kinda broke
Wingo and Mahogany selections were like mind blowing. Like how were they there? Like I even
What'd you do with Mahogany on your 53?
NFI.
Okay, you just kept him on there too. Okay, that
Yeah.
works. Yeah, that's what I did. I didn't know what you were doing.
Non-football injury. I guess some of the blood clots or something like that. It sounded like.
Oh, are you serious? I didn't know.
I
That.
don't know. Hopefully, we get to talk to him this week. We might have him on the shout to
That'd be
Christian
sick.
Mahogany. Yeah, he's got a charity he's doing. I actually found out the name of it, so I can shout it out real quick. Give me a minute.
Yeah, and then we'll get to the 53s. Houston was the highest graded defense player, one of the highest. Yeah, Houston was good, man. Houston was really good in that game.
Yeah, he was.
52. Then we get and that's we gambled on him in the fourth, so a gamble. Wait, who? Manu? I don't know. I think he's talking about Manu, maybe. But yeah, like dude, I was thinking about that yesterday too. I was like, Wingo was like I think the definition of like a value pick. I mean, everybody's got their own board, but like they said that basically about Mahogany that he was, in their opinion, and I think that Wingo for me was because I had known about Wingo coming in, and it was like, okay, he's kind of standing out there. So that's how they felt about Iffy too. Like they thought that he was standing out too. And what's the weird thing about that is we're thinking about like these value guys. A lot of them don't feel like they have like a perfect fit. So maybe that's why they fall. Like Iffy was like, oh, we don't know what he's gonna play.
Yeah,
Wingo was small in the interior, so I didn't know. If
but
it would
still,
work.
Demon. Like I don't know, dude.
What?
Q. Maybe his moves because a guy like Cansey to go first round, but a guy like Wingo to fall that far. Like I guess
Well,
what was the difference there? Just a plethora of moves. Like what
yeah,
is it for you?
I mean, I don't know what the rates were, but like to me, from what I remember, Cansey was like it felt like unblockable, dude. Like you remember, like that dude was insane as a pass rusher.
Mhm.
I never felt that about Wingo. Wingo always felt like he could win, like he could get an edge. But like the way I thought that he would win was very like he was like crafty, but he never felt like he was like a better athlete, like a much better athlete than the guy across from him. He just felt like smart and crafty and like a vet at defensive tackle. But like with Cansey, it felt like, dude, he might be undersized, but you can't block that guy. Like he was just dominate, dude. And there were games that he would take over. I never had a game where I felt like Wingo took over. He might have had a good string of reps, but I never felt like he took over. But maybe that's different. Maybe you had that when you watched him.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I never dove that deep into Cansey to have something solid on that one.
Cansey was crazy, bro. Cansey was crazy. In my opinion, he was insane, dude, coming out.
Yeah, I feel like I was really stubborn on him where I was like, I just didn't feel like we had the DJ Reader or Broderick to have that investment that early. I still feel like we needed it. At that time, I felt like Aleem was going to become that because of the weight loss. I was like,
yeah,
let's get him, the guy to eat the blocks.
Let me see real quick before he went to Pitt. Yeah, I wanted to see
some Cansey highlights.
They say Cansey had a 19% pressure percentage last year at one point.
Bro, once he got in, but and
21
that's like,
in college.
That's the thing though. Like Cansey obviously got picked up, but who's he playing next to in the interior?
He's playing
Vita
next
Vea.
to big, yeah.
So like it's a perfect pairing. We didn't have that for him to excel here.
Here you go. Cansey, 21% pass rush win rate in college. Wingo is 8%.
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they do is different. But yeah, no, now we do. and now we do. And bro, and but Wingo
We can go
like
SEC though.
Wingo to go to the SEC. That's true. No, that's a good point. Hey, bro, and that's why Wingo feels like a value because it's like okay, there's limitations here, but he's smart, man. Like you could see, like he could play now. Like he felt like a guy that could play right now. He's a smart player, and he just got it done. He got it done. He just made it do with limitations, and maybe you feel a little safer because he's making it work with limitations in the SEC. It's not like he's making it work in the Mountain West. Like he's making it work against really good guys. So you kind of lose some of the concerns, maybe. Yeah, that was a straight value pick there, and hopefully Mahogany's the same. To your point,
I think you will, man. I as long as everything's, I hope he's healthy and whatnot. But
okay, so how do you want? Oh, go my bad. I didn't cut you off.
No.
How do you want to do this? You want to? Do you have like a graphic you want to throw up? I got mine. I can throw mine up.
I don't have
talk through it.
I don't have a graphic, but I mean, I could. I just typed mine out. I could talk through it. I think I'm best talking through it. But
I
do
have
show
mine, and then you could talk where you have differences.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, let's do that. All right, I'll share my first. I hope I did the math right here. My first graphic's going to be the offense. Offense first. All right, here we go. This is my offense. I might have to double check and count these.
Oh wow! I wish I did mine like that. I should have did mine like that.
Yeah, easy.
Maybe I still can.
All right, so for me, like the biggest thing I did, and I took one. So I was like, I'm gonna take a swing on offense. This is definitely different from my last week one because last week I didn't have Craig Reynolds in there. That was the bold thing. I was like, I'm taking Craig out, but after not seeing him play, I'm like, he's making the team. So I put Craig Reynolds back in, but I'm going with Hudson. I'm gonna roll with it. I'm taking Nice out. I'm gonna cut Nice. I'm gonna keep Brian Hudson. But I think your point is super smart, which is all of those guys. They're like, we're gonna get back some of them. So what's the point? Like, it's not that big of a gap anyway. I just took a swing and said they'll go bold here and keep Hudson, mainly because I want more than one true interior player, and I don't think they want to move Sorstel inside because he wasn't that good at guard last year, and Skipper's only played like 8 reps at guard, last year for us. So I just wanted a little bit more depth there. Anything stand out there?
Yeah, I had the 9 offensive linemen. I did not have Hudson. I think Coyote's probably the guy they keep between he and Kingsley because they have like the reps with him, even in a playoff game, right? So, but as you kind of stated too, I think a lot of those guys you would want to keep, they survive that waiver, and you pick them up on your 69. No pun intended.
No, I like it. It's a good point. Tight end, I kept Zylstra over Mitchell. I like Mitchell, but just numbers wise, it's just I don't know. He might get picked up by somebody, but Zylstra to me, and then Zylstra came off his best game to me. Like he's been doing some work as a blocker. Zylstra plays so hard all the time, so you get the effort, but then also like he had the 4 receptions. I love the screen grab. We lost like a yard, I think we gained a yard, but he like caught it while I was getting held on, and I just loved it. It's like the fact that he finished there was awesome.
He makes some nasty grabs. Zylstra outside
reliable.
Laporta, probably the best hands in the tight end room. If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
am I wrong?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, definitely better than Brock Wright, man. He's reliable. He's got a wide radius, and I think he's a better separator than James Mitchell.
He's fast.
He's fast, bro, and he gets forgotten about like how well he actually like kind of came on for the Lions a couple years ago, and it's like he looks like he's back to like being him, but it's not. I don't have any questions about like is he going to block, is he going to play hard? Like no, he's going to do all those things. The biggest one for me is I had to take Parker Hesse out just for numbers reasons. I want to keep Parker Hesse though. And if I was going to keep Parker Hesse in, I probably just went 4 receivers, but I kept 5. That was the trickiest one for me.
Yeah, Hesse's like a poor man's right.
A poor man's right?
Yeah, Brock Wright.
Oh, okay. I thought you just meant right. I was like,
Yeah,
right,
no.
Like
yeah,
right
poor
here,
man's
like...
Brock Wright. So this is because obviously you have yours up right now too. I almost wanted to keep Mitchell because we didn't have a 5th wide receiver. And I felt like in situations where we go out there in 12 or whoever type personnel, so then obviously they audible out of it, and the next thing you know, the field's spread out. I feel like he could have played like that Z or something like that. I think he'd help in the absence of a big body wide receiver.
Okay,
but I couldn't numbers wise, I couldn't make it fit.
So you kept 4 receivers.
I kept 4 receivers. Yeah, I just told myself
that you did that.
And I wanted to keep 4 tight ends. I really did. I wanted to keep Mitchell as my 4th, but unfortunately,
so you went pretty heavy on defense then because you have 9 offensive linemen, 4 receivers. Did you keep 3 quarterbacks?
I kept 3 quarterbacks. And this is like based off what I think is going to happen. If it's what I would do, you already know your boy Nate Sud would be gone. Yeah, Sudfeld would be.
I'm surprised you're saying that, but
yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, Sudfeld would be off the roster.
Okay,
And
we
yeah.
don't need to talk about that. But
And I probably would have kept Mitchell.
yeah,
Yeah.
mine would be different too. I think it feels like there's a balance I struck here because obviously if I didn't like the player, I wouldn't have put him on here because I
Yeah.
wouldn't have believed that they like the player. But I try to do the same thing, kind of like
Mhm.
what I think will happen, and I went Caden Davis, and that because I think if they keep 5, it's going to be based a lot on practice, and to me, Caden Davis he's been good in practice. Can't forget that when I was at training camp towards the end, like he worked his way on to repping with the ones,
Yeah.
repping against our top corners in one-on-ones, and he really did take advantage of most opportunities thrown to him outside of the ones that he definitely couldn't, like the little crosser in week 2, which he didn't sit down and the ball was behind him, and then the one in week 1, which he ran the curl route, which was the ball was tipped at the line. Outside of that, when he got thrown the football, he made plays on the football. I still think he's one of the better route runners. And Caden Davis, while he's not like Peoples-Jones or Fountain build-wise, he does have better size than, say, Maurice Alexander, who I would have loved to put on here because Maurice shined. He looked awesome this last week. But he has better size. He's 6'1", 190. And to me, he can play as a true wide, but he still has that speed up the slot. So that he just makes enough sense for me. He has some of the production while also having enough of the body type for me to make it work. And I'm really a fan of Caden Davis coming in, so I'm still kind of basing some of that on here.
Yeah, he's got that. Like what I feel like you want to surround golf with those guys who can make a play after the catch. And I think Davis showed you that in the KC game. I think you saw a little bit in the joint practice too. Like he's fast, he's a quick dude, and I think that might serve you on special teams too down the line. But
yes, he's been good on special teams. That's a good point.
He's
been good on special teams. He's made plays there. A lot of people saying go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, well, we can get to it. Well, there was a guy, Neiman sitting out was like, okay, he's probably making the team.
Yep.
Because I remember hearing injury stuff, and so that's why he was the extra guy, one of the extra guys on defense. The other guy too, that I could be wrong on, was CJ Moore. I think that's where why I'm heavy defense with those two guys.
Okay, so I'll flip to that, and we'll have to talk through that because so the last point here was everybody's gonna keep Fromm. I don't think it, and again, this is why it's predictive. I like Fromm. He looked awesome at the end. But to me, the great thing about just seeing Fromm was clearly he was very light in the playbook. But I want to keep him around the practice squad because I want to see him next year preseason. Like I know we're looking way out, but I would love to keep him around, make sure he figures it out because then next year I'd love to see him on this team in the preseason. And the next year he competes for quarterback 3. But for this year, as an emergency quarterback, because now at least you've seen him and it's like, okay, he's composed. Yeah. He fits perfectly as if they're going to keep 3, make him the emergency quarterback. And I'd feel good about that.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And as everyone's saying in the chat, Suggs ain't going nowhere. I wish he was. We'd have some more guys we keep elsewhere, but Suggs, he's making the squad.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you think he'd clear waivers?
See, that's the tricky part. I don't know.
I don't know if he would either. I think he would, but also I could see someone as emergency. I've already seen a couple quarterbacks that cut today. I saw Mike White was cut earlier.
I saw that too.
I liked him.
Would they be able to? Would they be able to get Sudfeld back on their practice squad, though? That'd be the challenge, because you'd have to protect him. But, would he re-sign with the Lions on the practice squad? And if he doesn't, would the Lions feel comfortable without having him back? Because, even if he clears, doesn't mean he wants to be back with the Lions if someone's like, hey, come over here. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I mean,
more opportunity. There's no opportunity here.
I got to be honest, this is a team you want to be on. I just think from camaraderie to coaching staff to projection of what they're going to be this year. Especially him now, being on a team last year or with the team last year, and I think he'd come back.
Okay, so I mean, look, and that's the balance. I think they gave him $300K guaranteed. That might be the balance here, but it sounds like they're keeping 3 quarterbacks. And then running backs, I think, pretty self-explanatory there.
I might because what tomorrow comes out 4 p.m. tomorrow.
I think it's
they gotta
Tuesday.
have it done. Tuesday, okay.
Yeah, I think it's Tuesday at 4.
If Taco Tuesday, we'll be knocking down some tequila. If Sudfeld's not on the roster, how about that, chat? Come by the heavyweights. We'll be having a party. Hungry Panda put a great what team is putting him on the 53 aside from us? I don't know.
I don't know who would. Yeah, I don't know who would.
And not even disrespectful way. I just don't. I really could. Yeah. Maybe disrespectful way a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, Dan Campbell might also as I thought after last game, Hooker showed okay, I can be their number 2. Yeah. But the way Dan's, I mean, maybe he does truly believe hey, if we had to put him in week 1, we would go to. We don't trust him.
Well, you know what? Last year,
possible.
Last year he got hurt, so it was and Hendon was out too. Did we only keep 2 last year?
I think we kept 2 last year.
Maybe.
Dude, it's really like to me if did Hendon Hooker do enough in last week's game? I think he did to say we only need 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know in Camel's
so
eyes
too.
that he did enough. And I don't know that he could do enough in Camel's
Yeah.
eyes.
So I'm telling you, obviously you saw what he did with that third unit. Like, if he's in the first team, I'd be very comfortable, very comfortable.
I would too. I 100% would. And maybe he sees value in keeping Sudfeld around Hooker. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's some of that too. Maybe he's like, hey, he's good to have him around. He's helping.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is, but
keep
his
him
golf
far
isn't
away.
really doing much for him. I mean, well, the only thing golf's doing is he's doing his job, right? But
Yeah.
for Hooker, maybe that is beneficial for him.
Yeah.
Because last year was Bridgewater. I don't know.
And it helped. Listen, I've heard JMO say Bridgewater helped him. I've heard Hendo say that Bridgewater helped him. Mike White's out there. He's kind of mobile. Like, grab him on your practice squad. Help him help out Hooker. I don't know. Someone who's running around a little bit.
Yeah, but this guy knows the offense, right? So it's like,
that's true.
Got the offense down. All right, I'll go to the defense. We can talk through that. Because my defense probably gonna look different than yours because you got more players than I do. This is my defense.
Okay.
So we'll just go right to it. I still kept Vildor out. I still didn't put Vildor in here. Don't feel comfortable with that. He did not play, but I just didn't put him in there. I like Vildor. I just here's what I did. I put Strickland in. I went Strickland. I said I'll go a little bit deeper at safety. I just stuck to that. I think it's much more like I don't know. Like I feel like because they didn't play, it's very likely. But like there's always a surprise, and the surprise could be like we think for sure Vildor's making it because he didn't play. But then it's like, bro, Strickland to me has done his job every week, and I don't know, bro. Yeah, please.
I don't think Vildor lasts the waiver. I think someone picks him up, and he looked good. So I think Strickland's the guy you put on the 69, no pun intended, and Vildor makes your 53. We won our first playoff game in over 30 years with Kendall Vildor starting at the corner spot, and he wasn't even the biggest abuser. It was still Cam Sutton getting abused out there. So,
I agree.
Vildor's on my team. He's on my 53.
I'm not mad at that. No, I don't dislike it, man. That's a tough one. What you're saying makes a ton of sense. I like what I've seen from Strickland. Like it was, I don't know, bro. I don't know. If they keep 2 quarterbacks, just make this easy, and I'll keep both.
My safeties.
Yeah, go ahead.
Safeties I kept. Let me find it here. I kept Branch, Iffy, which there's an injury, I guess, with Dan Campbell's talking about. He don't know how long Iffy's going to be out. I don't know what's going on with that. He made it sound like it could be a 50-50 thing, which I don't like to hear. But I kept Iffy, Branch, Brandon Joseph, and then CJ Moore, like I said, for the special teams. I think I told you that before.
Yep.
CJ Moore I kept because I just know he's an ace like that, and he's really a veteran in that special teams game, man. He's nice. I can't deny that.
He is. I kept Strickland for special teams too. So, all right. No, you're right though. Like the history's there. That's interesting on Iffy though, because if that's the case, they definitely would probably want to keep an extra safety. Because like even part of me considered 4, but yeah. And to me, Strickland playing in the slot helps too.
Yeah, and you know what too? I think Strickland's more of that strong safety, and if there's an issue with Iffy, it would make sense that he's on there. Where I feel like Moore is more of a. I think he do a little bit both.
He's good, man. He's good. He's smart. I like him, man. I'd keep him. I don't know. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to run the risk, bro. I don't.
Brent Layton.
Where was Vildor when we got it? Vildor was just available, right? Like he was just.
I think he got cut from the Bears or something like that. Like he started the year on the Bears roster, and then
he was available for a while, though.
Yeah, I'd have to look into that one.
I can just, a good point, but
I can just ask him.
All right. So then, so linebacker kept the 5 that we feel are locks. James Houston's making my team. I don't need to see. Look, because to me, it's as simple as this. He's the best pass rusher of Matthew Betts, Isaac Ukwu, and Mitchell Agude. Like, hands down, he's a better pass rusher than all 3. And he handled his own as a run. He wasn't great versus the run, but it's not like the difference between Isaac Ukwu and Matthew Betts is Betts ain't even a better run defender. I don't necessarily think, but he may have more flexibility. But I don't think there's a big enough gap there for me. Like, oh yeah, just keep one of those guys, dude. It's the NFL, man. You need guys that can go beat offensive tackles. Houston could do that way more consistently than any of those other guys. So for me, I thought only one would make it, and for me, it's James Houston hands down after last game.
Yeah, try to see where we're off on the defensive line here. Okay, you got Houston at linebacker.
Yeah, I just put him with their Barnes. I mean, you're right. He's kind of like a defensive end. So
real quick, download the video I sent you on Twitter, if it lets you play it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. No, it's not. I promise. Defensive line, I
Okay.
had Hutch, obviously, Davenport, obviously, McNeil, Levi, DJ Reader. Obviously, we know he's not going to be on the pup list now, so that's good news. Kyle Pico, I think even though with Reader back, that's a guy that Terrell Williams coached over in Tennessee who was looking
Yep.
like he was going to start, who still may start week one, and also is making plays like consistently too. I remember when you and I went, we were looking at his calves, like, holy hell, this guy is built different. Uh, Broderick
Mm-hmm.
Martin, I don't think they're ready to give up on, and obviously there's that neat situation where he might clear up a spot for somebody. But Kai
Wing.
Wingo, I think
Nice.
they're obviously keeping. Pascal, obviously keeping. And then my surprise. Well, hold on. Let me look at yours real quick. So
Yeah.
you don't have Uku.
Nope. Yeah. No. I. That's a tricky one though, because even someone said in the chat like no Uku.
3 sacks, 3 games,
Look, I think Uku plays the style
and he
that the
plays the
Lions
run.
like too. He does. He plays the run. I think he plays the style that they like. He had a really good play in this game. I don't I don't think he'll be nearly as consistent in an NFL game unless he's playing against a backup. Like he might make a little impact. But to me, that one might come down to special team. I just didn't have the numbers for it, like straight up. Like I wasn't gonna
Yeah,
put him over Houston. I just didn't have the numbers. So like I only kept 5 corners. If I I'd have to cut somebody else, maybe one of the offensive linemen. I think that makes sense. Or, Strickland or something to maybe do that.
yeah.
But I feel like I'm deep enough here because Campbell played down the line a little bit last year. Like I feel like I'm a little bit deep enough here. And then if you kept Summers, say over a guy like Neiman, then he could step down too. It's tricky, but I just don't have the numbers for it, man. And I
Did
think
you
Houston's a lock.
do you got that video? Do
Yeah, I got it. I can play it.
you want to play it? I want you to listen to this and tell me what you think about the Houston situation.
See, I did see this, and it didn't sound the same, is what I'm saying. But we'll let it run here.
One thing exceptionally well, but maybe doesn't offer you a whole lot elsewhere. How does that play into
Oh, that's
an overall
disrespectful.
evaluation?
Hold up. That was a little disrespectful. It doesn't offer you. Hey, that's a little shot. That was necessary. That little shot was not necessary.
It
He
did,
made
yeah.
some plays against the run. He did. Like All right.
Against the third streak. Go ahead.
Well,
Play into an overall evaluation.
Yeah, and it's a good question because we really didn't have him a lot of camp. He was hurt. So we didn't get to see him at Kansas City this week, and so he's probably had maybe half of training camp, if that, somewhere in there. And so you still have to go off the totality of what it is. We understand he's a year 3 player that. We have to take the body of work that has taken place in practice against our very good tackles. We got 2 of the best tackles in the league, and that he has to go against. And you take those, and then you take a little bit of what you saw today. Okay, well, what does the health look like? Can he still move? Is it? But I think look, that's going to be a hard decision for Brad and myself. It is one way or another. Because that's kind of what you're asking. Is it enough? I don't, and it's hard to say that right now. I mean, this will be a lot of things that we hash out between the 2 of us, the coaching staff, all of it. Like we got to make sure we're seeing it clearly.
I would add something real quick.
Yeah.
I did hear the Chiefs GM, and he said that they grade. I don't know if the Lions do, but he said that they grade every practice, and then they also, they grade the games too, and they chart it every day so that they have a grade by the end of this whole offseason program. So a lot of those days, I think, and it'd be cool for us to start doing that, but like
Yeah.
every day that we see where it's like, oh, this guy stood out today, maybe that, like so much I think is based on practice that we don't think of, and that can get very overlooked. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, yeah, that's the thing too, right? So if he's not there in practice to grade, then obviously he didn't have the best outing against New York. It wasn't bad, but like it wasn't great. I'll
No.
say that. Yeah, I mean, and I feel like here's the thing too with coaches. I feel like if there's time and there's like still a practice window or a game window for you to showcase yourself and like I guess you're driving like if you're working on what they're telling you to work on, stuff like that, and you mentioned a comment like that, then they're saying that as like a little drop in the bucket for you, like, hey, we need you to work on this. I'm saying it publicly, so like, because obviously me saying it to you directly isn't getting to you. Like I want to put the public pressure on you. At this point of the offseason where like you're making your cuts and that's a comment you say, I don't feel good, man.
Doesn't sound good.
Doesn't sound good. And a guy like Uku who is 3 games in, 3 sacks, performed well against the KC first unit. Like I don't know, man. And it sucks too because he showed you what he showed you in 22, That's why I'm saying, man, like, I don't know, call somebody up, get a receiver for him, because like it still sucks to lose him. If they're gonna lose him, I don't want to lose him for nothing.
No, completely agree. That guy's because he's not getting through. He's not nobody. Not everybody's gonna pass on him and let him get back to your practice squad. That won't happen. I can see a scenario where it happens with Ukwu. Probably unlikely. Probably unlikely. He'll at least get offers from everybody for a lot of their teams on practice squad, but it's not happening with Houston. He's gone. The thing is with Houston though is even though Ukwu can play that Sam backer, he doesn't do much off ball. We really haven't seen. I haven't seen that unless I'm remembering wrong, but he doesn't do a lot of that.
He looks too like stiff even to play.
He doesn't drop into coverage at all.
Yeah.
So to me, like James Houston, who looked bad in that role, the only guy that's actually looked kind of serviceable there has been Matthew Betts. But I don't think Betts did enough.
Yeah.
And to me, he's not on the same tier as a pass rusher as Houston. He's not.
No, yeah. Different styles too. No, you're right.
Styles.
Yeah, different styles. And Houston's a little bit more flashy, a little bit more eye popping because you're like, oh wow, that was crazy. Where like Ukwu is more of a grinder. He's gonna get it. You know, man, he's got that grit. Ukwu's got the grit. Where I feel like Houston's got the flash. And the part for me though, where I'm lost on it all is if you want to put yours back up, as like a couple of weeks back, Aaron Glenn spoke to the importance of Derek Barnes playing that Sam and how unique he is in his ability to both rush and play in coverage. We have nobody else like that behind Barnes. No one. And that's why I thought Goudier was going to make his bread right there. I thought Goudier was going to make the team and he's going to be that extra Sam. But I didn't really – how do you feel about Goudier yesterday?
I think I had it down that he was – I didn't think he stood out for me. Just because, like, athletically speaking, like, he's not – like you said, he's not the athlete like Barnes is in space. So he doesn't do that as well. And I don't think he was as good as a pass rusher as Isaac Ukwu was for me. I thought Isaac Ukwu – Isaac knows how to win as a pass rusher. I never got that with Goudier, not to that same level. I think Goudier makes sense to kind of like the receiver thing. It's like body type-wise, he makes sense. But production-wise, if we're going off like what we've seen in the past and all those things, like, and if I'm projecting into an NFL game, I'd much rather trust James Houston in an NFL game. Like, I feel like I'm going to get an impact there if I throw him on the field. With Goudier, I feel like he's almost just kind of there in a way. Like, I don't think he's going to change. I don't think he has the upside to change the game. You don't say you need that. You just may want a guy that's just going to do his job. But
that's a great
Houston,
point.
I think, can change the game. I don't think any of those other guys can do that.
That's a phenomenal point. How do you – who do you think plays the run better between the two of them?
Goudier and Houston?
Yeah.
I give Goudier the edge. I think Houston moves better, but he doesn't look the same. Houston doesn't. And I would also say that I feel like missing time matters, and I think we know that. Like when receivers couldn't go out there and prove it, they didn't make the team. It was like, dude, you're not out there, you're not practicing, we can't keep you. And then you also didn't light up the preseason. The flip side is Houston had a really strong preseason game. So he's at least put that out there. In his first game, he still did a little bit in terms of getting some pressure.
Yeah.
So at least he had that. But missing time does matter. Like, we know that. Like, they want you to prove yourself in camp. But I feel like you can't just overlook what he's capable of, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bro, that dude had what he did in 2022 was legit. And I still see some of that in there, man. I want that guy because, like, you think you're going to find a James Houston, like, halfway through the season? Like, when we had to sign Bruce Irvin?
No.
You're not going to find that.
You're not, dude.
Those guys aren't out there.
You made the best point of just saying that he could change a game, like take over a game, where the guys are just kind of sufficing or just there.
I don't even want to sound disrespectful, but do you think you could find a guy closer to Goudier week 9 if I needed some depth, or James Houston?
A Goudier.
I'm not finding James Houston, bro. He's not out there. I'm having to trade for that guy.
What he showed in 22, bro, those ghost rushes he showed, man, like just the. Does he have that same burst to you though?
No, I don't think he looks as he doesn't look as flexible.
Yeah.
He also doesn't. He looks a little bit heavier, but he looks like he bulked up though. Like, to be honest, he looks a little bit stronger too. He doesn't look as lean. Like what you said about Betts, like, oh, he's very different as a pass rusher. Like, I agree. I thought always that with Houston too, but I feel like Houston's body type, to be honest, it's weird because it feels like it's a little bit in between. Like, he's not to the point where it's like he can be a power rusher.
Yeah.
But it does add a little bit more value because I don't think he's a complete train wreck against the run on the line of scrimmage. Like, it doesn't look like he can't handle it at all.
I'd almost prefer the smaller version of him because he was just the flexibility, like his bend.
Like, he didn't have really any early down flexibility until they tried to put him into that role that Barnes is playing. They tried to find something for him at that time because he couldn't play on the line. Now I think you could actually potentially get away with it in certain spots. Like teams would probably go at him a little bit, no doubt, right? You'd have to have somebody else that's helping him out. I don't know, man. I lean to big time pass rusher. I just think he's on another level.
Yeah, dude, this is tough, man. This defense is tough right now. And you left off Vildor too. Can't believe
the Vildor was a tough one. Yeah, that was a little unfortunate. I didn't.
He's making the squad.
Who's I supposed to cut, man? I was like, bro, I don't have enough. I got Strickland. I should have cut Strickland.
Yeah.
But Strickland's the dog though. But you kept that same amount of safeties too. You kept 5 too. You just kept a different name.
Yeah,
I would have to cut somebody on
some
offense.
offensive guys. Yeah. Yeah, I think you just talked me into it. I think now I kind of think Houston's making the team. Dan Campbell, obviously that makes me nervous for him, but like you're right. If I feel even though obviously that you think of them as being smarter than us, or me for sure, you're on that level. But in that room, if you bring that same question up, who's affecting the game the same way Houston does? There's no out of a good, out of a Uku, like you can't really say they would.
I don't think so.
And you can't say that Houston survives waivers. I think you have a better chance of Uku surviving waivers. Although I don't think he would either.
Uku was surviving waivers?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think he's surviving waivers. Yeah. But Houston's for sure not.
Yeah. No, he's not. Easy. I'm counting. I think I may have put one extra player on here. I'm trying to make sure I didn't, but I think I may have. 2, 4, 7, 11, 12, 15, 17, 18, 20, 22, 25. Yeah, I got one extra player. All right, well, this is broken. We got to cut somebody, so let's do a live cut here. We apologize to whoever's going to get cut, but somebody's got to get cut. I'm cutting Brian Hudson.
That's the easiest one. Sorry, bud.
Make this easy. Yeah, Brian, I like you, man. I just, I was being bold with that. I was like, I'm going to keep Brian Hudson. This is about to be so interesting.
Yes, Phil, Skipper's hurt.
Point. You made it work. You made okay. Now we're good. And then here's my special teams. Same for you.
Actually, no. I wanted to put Hatton, but I think Daly's just he's the more vetted guy as long snapper.
Okay.
I like Hatton's ability to play linebacker. I like that. You know what? You're probably right. It's probably Hatton.
Dude, I think the fact that there was a competition just says a lot about it. Plus, I don't know who actually started. I didn't check. I don't know who started last game, but Kansas City, Hatton was the first long snapper on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
give me Hatton. And I mean, again, in a special team situation, you want a guy going after it. I mean, Scott Daly, you could probably pick up during the season.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have their long snap. No one's like, oh, yeah, you know what?
I think you could cut both of them. I think that could be one of the surprises, right? Like, if I want to keep 10 offensive linemen, I keep 10. I cut both long snappers. And I'm just
who's snapping the Frank?
Whoever's still available, we'll sign one. Yo, are they both going to get picked up? Because I'm going to guess, I could be wrong, but at least I would assume almost every team's going to come with their long snappers. Most teams aren't going to cut both long snappers. I don't know if anybody else, if you feel good that nobody else is going to cut their both long snappers or whoever they have at long snapper, I would just cut them both. And then just whoever can get back, bring him back, and I'll keep an extra player on. If I can put somebody on a list.
I would. If it's me, I'm keeping Hatton. I think Dan Campbell wants to probably keep Hatton too. You tell me you got a long snapper who could play linebacker. That sounds like a Dan Campbell guy, like all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
especially on punts and stuff like that. Like, come on.
No, for real. Okay, so R53 is similar. You don't have bets on there either.
No bets, okay. No. But
he
did. I will say, as much as I was disrespecting him before KC, he definitely flashed a little bit of what a lot of people were talking about. But in fairness, though, not in fairness, just bias me. None of you MFers seen him before giving that praise. I'll be honest. None of you guys ever like, oh, it's bet season. Let's go. None. I mean, you, Dion, yes, because you're a nerd, and I respect you for it. But a lot of you other MFers probably didn't watch a lick of tape. You were just like, yeah, sack leader for Canada. He's him.
Yeah. Hey, I was high on bets, man, because I was like, his get off going to translate, which it did. It definitely did. But it was the fact that, bro, it was like he's different, but he couldn't win at the top of the rush like consistently at all, man. And I was like, he's getting there, but he's not finishing. He doesn't have the bend. I don't think he has the leg drive. Like he's just not finishing this. He's also almost 30 years old too. It's not like he's like 22.
Exactly. When I saw he played for the Bears practice team before getting cut and then going to Canada, I was like, oh well, he had opportunity in a fairly defensive, minded franchise.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad swing though. I mean, he could still make the team. It wasn't a bad swing. It's just I don't have him in there, but if he didn't do enough in week 3 at all to me, like not at all. But I think Betts has shown more flexibility than any of the other guys that we're talking about.
Betts,
like than Ukwu and Agude and Houston. Like he's shown more flexibility, I think, to drop.
I think
Gude
probably.
ball.
I think Gude could drop better, but getting to the quarterback, I'd take Betts.
Easy. Okay.
I do.
Easy, just Matthew Betts hater. It's fine.
I'm not. Goudier played linebacker in college.
Yeah, but he's just. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Easy. You know who also played linebacker in college? James Houston. Easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like too. Goudier's size. He's
don't tell me heck no, Chronic. You're crazy. Hey, he does. He moves really well in space. All right, he's dropping the coverage against Kansas City.
He was not great in coverage. Come on.
He was not great, but he only had like 2 reps. Look, he moved.
He just
well.
did it. He didn't do it good.
Well,
he
did good. You know, the PFF grade was wrong. All right, I saw the grade; it was wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
I think PFF. Anybody who's paying attention definitely like exposed themselves this preseason. Like, remember they gave Betts like a horrible grade. They gave Wingo a horrible grade. But it was like you watch the game, and you're like, how?
You know, I'm working for PFF. We can't say that. We gotta.
Oh, are you really?
We love you.
Oh, sorry.
No, but here's the thing with PFF is there's no context, right? So you're just seeing a grade. So I feel like some of them can be results based, and you don't see the context behind it. So it's like for example, that Hooker interception. Did they count that against him, or did they count that against Williams? Like, what did they? Yeah, so I don't know because we don't
listen. I'm actually buddies with 2 of those guys. I know actually the one guy.
The center was Kingsley, then Hudson, and Neese too.
But Trevor, we had on, who's recently become their lead draft analyst, and we had him on after his quarterback rankings, and he kind of admitted, he's like, yeah, some of these things are subjective. Because they had like the big time throw rate. I was like, what is that? Because they use it as a knock against Goff, which I wouldn't say Goff's a big time thrower either, but like, how do you measure that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your measurement of that to determine the case?
Yeah.
And they didn't really have one.
Too.
Yeah.
Yep. It was weird. It was really weird. It was like further down the field, and then it's like, well, Goff doesn't throw that many passes that far down the field. Like, Goff doesn't have a lot of 20-plus yard completions.
Yeah.
And not in the air. Like, he's going to throw 15 yards, but not 20. We get a couple of those, but it's not consistent. Like, more guys just have more opportunities there. So his rate's very low because he doesn't even take that many attempts. He'll have like 1 a game at most. Yeah. Some guys have like 4. It's like, yeah, Goff's not going to do that. We don't throw that. Yeah. Maybe now he will, though, because he looked big. Hey, y'all saw it inside the den, bro. It's like, dang, Goff. Okay, we see he has been hitting the weights. J-Mo, you might have to speed up. I think that's where we're at right now because he might overthrow a couple of those.
Relax.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Is there anything else you want to hit on with this? Oh, I thought Brandon Joseph also had a down game. He's still on the roster, but I thought he did a down game.
Brandon Joseph on my roster. Yeah, I think obviously I got Vildor, no Hudson, Strickland not on there, but I do got CJ Moore. I can see a world where neither of those guys are there. Although I think CJ Moore probably gets picked up. That's why I think you got to keep him.
Okay.
And Neiman, I probably wouldn't have had on my roster had he not sat out yesterday. But it is what it is.
Yeah. You wouldn't have. Okay.
No, I just feel like I feel like we're kind of deep there at linebacker. And again, just going back to the entire preseason, bro, everyone who played the linebacker position looked solid for us. So I don't know that you need a roster or a guy outside of maybe like a special teams need.
Bro, I think the sleeper is Summers, bro. Like I feel like you could put him on the 53 and I wouldn't have a problem with it. Yeah. You told me to put him on there, I'd be cool with that. Who, if there is a wide receiver 5, would that be for you? If you had a guess. They keep 5, who's going to be?
Dude, fans aren't going to want to hear this, but
Chronic Ninja wants to know about 6, but we got to start with 5.
People are going to be turned off to hear this, and I feel like Sudfeld kind of gave him a bad shake there in KC, but it'd be DPJ. Mm-hmm. We just don't have that body type. He was on the team last year. Brad Holmes traded for him last year, then re-signed him. He had experience with JG. Like all the reps he got this offseason felt like they were with the second or third team. So it's that same way we're kind of like I'm giving Hooker like a little leeway there. It's like, okay, well, you weren't with the best unit to showcase like your full potential. I'm giving DPJ the benefit of the doubt too.
And if they kept him, I would have no problem with it.
I wouldn't have a problem with it either.
No issue. Because I like, look, bro, okay, you didn't produce during the preseason. I don't care. To be honest, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to keep 5, it's not like I'm going to be like, well, you saw Kane Davis, he was cooking. I'm not going to be like, dang, they should have kept Alexander. He did his thing. Like, no, I'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense because I trust him.
Even on the Kane Davis touchdown, it was DPJ who ran out
the
defense
like
to help him.
On the play.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
Like decoyed it. Yep.
And sometimes, I know a lot of people watch the game, and it took me a minute to like realize that too. But like some guys aren't running to get open for the ball. Some guys are just running guys out of the play for the primary guy.
Yeah. Hey man, and that's the thing too. It's like if that Peoples Jones pass, like if he could have caught that one, which I can understand why he dropped. The guy was in front of him, but you have that, and then you have the drag. It's like, okay, if he catches that, maybe we feel different because Caden Davis had like 2 receptions. It's not like it would have been a big gap. So I don't have an issue with him keeping Peoples Jones at all. I think if I was the GM and they were like, you got to keep 5, I'd keep Peoples Jones. I'd be like, I'm coming in with DPJ. We're running with these 5 because I'd be like, he's going to work with Goff, and we need that piece. And
I don't think people should be surprised either.
Well, here's the thing: if I can find it, if it comes available, fine, we'll sign it. But I'm not going to rely on that becoming available. You know, I don't want to rely on the fact that I have to trade for somebody because that doesn't guarantee anything. Benson had an awesome preseason; he did nothing here. You know what I mean? Like that guy was productive every game and did nothing. So, like that, and that's kind of the thing with preseason is it's kind of the similar thing with like Houston. Like you're right, more consistencies from Ukwu, but when it translates, I trust Houston to translate much more than I trust those guys to translate to an actual game.
Bro, and it's a complex offensive system too. That's why I think most teams are vanilla in the preseason. But I think offensively, the Detroit Lions weren't. I think they're actually calling stuff they would call in a lot of those situations because these guys need to learn this offense because it's that complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of concepts are very similar. I think the only difference is like you just will have a play that works versus that team. It's like in these games you're just running plays.
Exactly.
It was those games you're like, hey, we might have the same concept, but when we use it, it's going to be different.
Yes, it's like exactly. It's prepped per game.
Yes, you're not going to have the trick plays, and you're not going to have things that like go completely outside the box. Like, oh, I didn't expect that on 1st and 10 that they would try a shot play here. It was like instead we're just going to run our outside zone. We're going to be very simple with our play calling. But yeah, I'm with you. I think, and then even to that point, I think there's certain routes that we ran. I could be wrong on this. Certain routes that like say Peoples Jones ran that I don't think I would ever ask him to run during the regular season. But because he's out there, and it's like, look, we're not taking you off. It's not like Khalif's taking your spot and he's going to run that route for you because Peoples Jones, you have this specific route we want to run for you. It's like, no, you're out there. You're running every route on this play. And it's like that route we would never ask you to run because we don't expect you to get open there.
Yeah.
You have a different role. And I think we see that too. There's certain routes like, yeah, he's not getting open, but I would never ask him to run that.
With like fantasy and stuff going on, I actually do like NFC North stuff, MBR. Is there anybody not on the roster at the wide receiver position that you would like them to try to acquire?
Oh, you mean like elsewhere?
Yeah, like a realistic one. Not like, oh, go get T. Higgins. Like, give me like a realistic one.
Yeah, probably T. Higgins. So you're saying he's available right now?
I mean, just somebody else, a receiver on another roster that you think is like a realistic grab for the Detroit Lions.
I want Robert Woods, bro. I'm gonna live with
gross.
That. I've been on that for months, bro.
I hate Robert Woods.
Okay. You know who I want? I want Michael Thomas. Let's get Michael Thomas and Robert Woods. We'll put him
I'm just a hater. I'm just a hater. I hate him too.
I know. Hey, get Michael Thomas and Robert Woods, man. We'll let them compete. Let's get Denzel Mims back in the building. Let him compete. Yo,
that could be. He's got cut though. I'm pretty sure.
See, are you a Mims guy?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I actually, you know what? In this particular situation, yeah, bring him in.
Yeah, got no problem with it. Bro, but who's out there right now is kind of Michael Thomas is available. Juju Smith, I mean,
I think he's cooked, like injury and play wise.
Hey, did Caden Davis get cut?
Kane Davis?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's listed as a free
agent. Did he?
Agent. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think he might have had an injury thing.
Oh, are you serious? Well, this is
hold on. I could be wrong.
They could be wrong too, but it's because it said he was with the Cardinals. So they activated Reader. I don't think so. No, he's still here. He's still, at least according to this tracker,
Okay.
he's still here. Hey, why do we see no Jamarco Jones either? The left tackle. I mean, it is. I mean, does that mean that like he's got no chance to make the team? Because it wasn't like he played bad. It was just like maybe we know Manu's making it, so he has to get all the reps. I was a little bit disappointed in that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. And I don't have an issue because Manu. I found myself excited to watch Manu yesterday. I was like, hell yeah! Like let's see what Manu improved on this week.
Bro, he's getting better, man. Manu's gonna work out. I think Manu's showing steps to work out. Braddock, we're still got to see it. Feels like Manu's getting there though.
Freakishly fast.
Braddock like gives you like things, and you're like, oh, that was nice. Like early in the game, like he like used like his hands and he got himself free and he got a little pressure. I was like, oh, okay, there you go. But then it's like there's too much where it's not like he's stringing plays together. Like Wingo, bro, by this last game, I was like, oh, Wingo could start. Like if I need him to start, I'm cool with that. Wingo could start. If Braddock had to start, I'd be a little concerned. Like this might be a problem because they're gonna attack him. These things don't do well, but they're gonna attack this guy.
Yeah, I just feel like there's they'll probably make a trade. Maybe I don't know. What'd you think of John Dotson trade? You think that's something we could have got in on?
I would not have done that. I thought they gave up way too much. Because who traded for him? Was that Philly?
Philly traded interdivision.
I want to get your thoughts.
And they gave a third for it too, which I think they're going to use to go get Ayuk.
Dude, I'll get your thoughts. I was not a big Jahan. I just know I wasn't a big Jahan guy coming out of the draft. So to see what it took to get him, I was like, ooh, I would not have done that. I would have stayed all the way away from that.
So I'm not going to lie. I didn't really know much of him coming out of the draft.
Be right back, easy. Go ahead.
You're good. I don't know much of him coming out of the draft. I didn't know I didn't have any take on him, to be honest with you. And then I thought he was just trash just because of I know like the hype that came with him, but they never like came into fruition. But I actually went back and I looked at the numbers. Bro, John Dotson, I think he had like 7 touchdowns his rookie year, 4 touchdowns last year. And we're talking about like DPJ as in like a scrub, but a guy that was still on a team, our team, and top 5 offense in the league with it. I think John Dotson could provide that. But for a 3rd round pick, that's crazy. Like you gotta think like that's what we gave up for Carlton Davis and Terrion. Now obviously Terrion we gotta wait to see, but like I would think Carlton Davis is a better cornerback than John Dotson is a wide receiver. That's just where I'm at with it. But it's tough, bro. It's weird to be in the situation too, just wanting that wide receiver because. And I'll call myself on this one too, but we've been saying wide receiver 3, wide receiver 3, wide receiver 3. But you think about last year, Reynolds was really like a wide receiver 2. And Jamo's taking that place. Like, are we really missing that wide receiver 3 per se? I don't believe so. Are we missing a bigger body guy though? Yes, I'd say that. Just because I don't know if Jamo will fulfill that consistently enough. Although there were some reps there during camp where he was stretching out in the red zone specifically. And he did have that clutch touchdown against, actually had 2 clutch touchdowns. Well, I'll give the one in the NFC Conference Championship game in terms of like short field, just jumping up and getting it, like the same way you see Reynolds at times. I would just be more comfortable with a bigger body guy in this roster. I don't think Sam Laporta could be your lone big body target in the red zone. But Goff's also not that type of quarterback where he's throwing those 50-50 balls. He's more going to read the field or just go off of what the play was originally. But sometimes you need that guy.
Easy. Can I make a? I'm gonna bring it because what you said is true. Like, and you ever watch the videos of Carlton Davis? Like when he gets like the old matchups, like Carlton Davis versus this guy, 2021.
Oh, I watched him versus Keenan Allen every rep.
You have watched? Okay, dude, those are fire videos. By the way, if you haven't seen those on YouTube, bro, those will get you hype.
He's got one against Justin Jefferson last year too. He did okay.
Dude, okay. Dude, the stat. Okay, I don't know. I don't know the stat off the top of my head, but like I think it was 20. I think it wasn't last year. It was the year before. 2022. He allowed like 6 receptions on 29 targets in man coverage or something. It's a ridiculous stat. I want to say this though about receiver because first off, I want to name the top 5 weapons on this team. Don't name them what you like. You know, do you think the top 5 weapons on this team?
Amon-Ra,
offensively,
Laporta, Gibbs, Jamo, Montgomery.
See, and okay, now do that for the receiving game.
Like top 5 wide receivers, or just
top 5
catchers,
top
pass
5,
catchers.
Yeah, weapons pass that can catch the football. Yeah.
Okay. Jamo, Amon-Ra, Laporta. I'm not gonna put Gibbs in there because I still want to see it. So I'll go Raymond. Who am I missing? Zylstra.
Okay, so you're not super high on well, not Gibbs.
On
Then. You have
Gibby.
Zylster above Gibbs. You have Zylster above
Well, I mean,
Gibbs.
it probably ends up being Gibby, but like I just want to see it first. Because
I just say that. Yeah, go ahead.
did you notice it with Gibby in practice at all? Like a lot of the pass catching.
Not really. No, I remember seeing him do. Even repping with the receivers. But
Yeah,
not really. I
me
saw
either.
a couple times where he lined out in the slot, but not much.
Like I don't want to put that
in the football.
expectation. I'm just with my own eyes. I just didn't see it. But I mean, he'll still have those opportunities they had last year that he kind of like lacked. I guess like there was like the drop he had against Seattle. I always think about the drop he had against the Bears. And those are the two that come to my mind. I'm sure there's more I could watch and see. So maybe he's increased in actually catching those balls, but maybe they trust him with more option routes this year too. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Feels like there's a lot to tap into there with him, man.
It is.
And they're kind of relying on. I mean, shoot, because you have put Isaiah Williams at 5 and going to be a superstar, mark my word. Bro,
You can do some gadgety stuff with him too. Put him in the backfield.
see, and Isaiah Williams gets open too, man. He's like he's longer than Khalif. Like he feels like Khalif, but he's longer. He definitely feels like he's got a little bit more of a radius thing. Like a Khalif, it feels like, man, you really got to put it on him. Isaiah Williams don't feel like that exactly. He feels a little bit longer. Like you could expand it a little bit more down the road.
Yeah.
But Isaiah Williams definitely can get open, like Khalif. Feels
Yeah.
like very similar there, especially underneath. No, dude, because I did a thing during the offseason, because what you were saying, which is we know Jamo's going to be in a bigger role. And it's like, once you name the top 5 receiver or weapons pass catching, it kind of makes you like, okay, maybe having that extra receiver isn't as big as the deal we make it, right? But also Khalif Raymond, like could Khalif Raymond Khalif Raymond feels like, he could have a much bigger year in store. Like, and the reason I say that is, like, we saw there was a little touchdown that he had, last week in goal line, because you're talking about the red zone. We know a lot of those has been like St. Brown just sitting at the I can't think what it's called. Sitting at the line to get into the end zone. I can't think what it's called. But it's like sitting down there. That's where he would like make his money, low and away, less of like the back of the end zone stuff. And I know they're trying to work Peoples Jones into that. But we saw Khalif Raymond have one of those too, man. Like, to me, Khalif Raymond at his peak here, I think he could have like a Brandon Cooks type of year here.
Oh, absolutely, bro. I love Kelly Raymond, bro. I really do. And like, I think and I love it too when I say something, just because I obviously wasn't like on the Jared Goff top 5, Jared Goff this, Jared Goff that stuff. People hate like a lot of stuff I say, but like, I love when I say something and then Dan Campbell hits a podium like the next week or the next day and says the same exact thing. But he had mentioned Khalif Raymond being like a gadgety guy, but he is. And it's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong with that. He's great at it. Like that's his role in the NFL. But it's so weird though too, because we watch him in practice. At least I think it was you and I that had the conversation. He gets separation when he wants to too. It's I don't
all the time. Dude.
He is like I don't know. I don't get it. But like I said before, I don't know if you heard this when all you're going, but I was like, Josh Reynolds really last year was our wide receiver too. We almost upgraded that with JMO. I just think we're more comfortable with a bigger body, another guy, but we don't need it. Like he's just taking up place of Reynolds. And I'll say this too: we're the middle of the field, so even if we did get a bigger body guy, he is probably mostly utilized in a red zone situation versus like actually throwing to the outside and outside the numbers and stuff like that. Like we're gonna eat in the middle field. It just makes more sense. You have more room to throw the ball. You have room to make a play after catching it. Like that's how Tom Brady put it perfectly. He's like, that's why Tom Brady had great slot receivers and great tight ends, because the middle of the field, there's just literally just more room for error, more room to throw a ball for someone to make a play versus outside wide receivers. Right. Now, if you get a great one, obviously you're going to utilize him, but like the middle of the field, just schematically or just like using your brain, it's where you're going to eat.
So do you think then, like when you go back to year 1 when Josh got here, like I think like Denver comes to mind. We were in Denver and Josh was making like those deep outs. We run like a deep out. It was like 25 yards. Like, do you think that's more so that was Josh's skill set, so they did it? Or it was more so that they need that in their offense? Because I think of like DJ Chark, and I could just be remembering wrong. I don't remember Chark doing much of that. Like, I remember Josh doing that, but I don't remember DJ Chark running those kind of routes. It was like, that was Chark. Josh's thing. I like Chark too, man. Chark would break over the middle, right? And he would get vertically, he'd run some go balls, but he wouldn't run like the deep outs and stuff.
He had that one on Thanksgiving, though, didn't he?
Well, was it a deep out?
The one was like the fourth quarter, like last play of the game. Everyone was like, he ran the wrong route, and I was like, bro, what are you
Wait,
doing? DJ
oh,
Chark.
oh, yeah, but that was like a fade, right? It
Okay.
was like a fade. But no, I because Goff threw it like behind him or whatever. I think it was just a trash throw, to be honest with you.
Yeah, thank you.
The fade,
But
it wasn't a great throw.
But yeah. I mean, we're not a real vertical offense, you know. And to be honest with you, and this is not a disrespectful. Like, I'm not. It's just what he is. I don't think Goff's a real vertical guy unless he has like a Khalif or something like that. He's just out there in a slant or
Well, I asked that because is it like I'm saying like do we need that guy that can do that? Because to me, here's the thing, we
J-Mo.
talk about the big body, right? J-Mo, yeah, but like Donovan Peoples-Jones, for example, comeback routes could not get open at all. Like I was watching, it just didn't feel like he could get separation off. I mean, we could show him, but that was a route that Josh could get open on. Like I can even think like when we were in Green Bay, right? We ran like one of the numbers. I think it was like a deep comeback route. It's like, oh, that's a good grab. Went up and got it. But Peoples-Jones to me wouldn't answer that. So even though he'd answer the big body idea, he wouldn't answer that. It's not like Peoples-Jones adds that to the table. And I just wonder if that's not even that necessary because instead of doing that, the out routes will come from a slot alignment. And it's like, hey, remember when Khalif Raymond caught like the deep out route against Minnesota, or how often we went to Sam Laporta on the out routes that he would align in the slot, like that. And who also runs those really well? Donovan Peoples-Jones. Peoples-Jones does run really good like speed out routes like that. We saw them attack it a couple times. Like that was his bread and butter back in Cleveland, one of his sideline things. So like Peoples-Jones makes sense, but I just wonder if some of the things that Josh Reynolds thrived in, it doesn't necessarily mean the Lions have to replace that. It's just like we don't have to get everything that Josh gave us. We just did it because he was good at that. You know what I mean? Like we can find other ways.
And J-Mo could just he could just do more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really tripping on it. I just it's obviously been a conversation. One, it's the off season. It's like keeping it just as a buck. Like we have to like talk about whatever we can. But also, I mean, Dan Campbell's, it's been brought up to him. He's made comments on it. He's waiting for someone to show up, you know? So it's like, it's nice to have, but it's not like a must or a need or anything that'll like make this offense not great next year, especially with just Gibbs and Montgomery running the football. It's going to open up everything for any type of body, you know?
See, and that's where I'm with it, because it's like if you felt like you had to replace Josh Reynolds, either one, you find a way to get that guy back, or two, you would have been more aggressive to do something else, like to what you were saying. Like they've really done nothing there. They got Peoples-Jones and it was like that's it. It's like, bro, there's not even been an effort. Like maybe they go and surprise, they go give out a 4th round pick to somebody.
Yeah,
but and some of that gets into the long term stuff, which big reason I don't think they'll do it because they don't want to put that money there. It's just not the value in their offense. Because even like occasional comeback routes for 400 yards isn't worth paying a big deal to, not in this offense. But it's just like maybe they don't feel like that's actually a necessary route tree they need. It's just like, we'll make it work. The size is great, and different size can work. We don't need Josh Reynolds 2.0 here.
Yeah. Did Isaiah Williams run a couple of those in preseason too?
Yeah, man. Yo, Isaiah Williams was expanding a little bit.
Yeah.
He started to expand a little bit. I mean, even the play that got picked off, like I still walk away like kind of excited because I'm like, ooh, that's one of those routes where it's like I would like to see him make the grab there and feel really good about it, but it was still the route that's like that's something that Josh would do. It's something that Chark did a lot.
Yeah.
And we all feel good about Isaiah. We think he's making the team. So there you go. You got a guy that can do it. Perfect.
Yep. And last year, I remember specifically because Austin Eckler, if you guys ever see him on social media or whatever, make sure you comment that he has to shave his eyebrows because he said Dave Montgomery and Gibbs wouldn't finish each top 15 in fantasy football. But either way, he mentioned like some of Gibbs' growth was just like being in those inside runs and then breaking out. I don't know if you heard him say that, but breaking out and then doing what he did the second half of the year. Well, he wasn't doing that the first half. This year, he has that like in his bag. You know what I'm saying? It's like this offense is good either way. I mean, truly been stressed to make topics of it, but like I'm no longer stressing it. If Brad Holmes, as brilliant as he is, didn't make a move to counteract that, we're straight.
Do you know that offense? Wasn't there an offense in the NFL that's pretty well known for being like a very small receiving core that was like historic production wise, but their receiving core was just tiny?
Patriots?
Not the Patriots. It was like a certain team. I think they had a nickname. Somebody's in chat's going to know. We'll find it. There was like a team that was well known for having a lot of tiny receivers, and they were super productive. And I don't know what that team is top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there was. And it's just like that goes to show you that like it doesn't have to be as standard. It's not like cookie cutter. And if you have a creative offensive coordinator, if you don't, then it is.
Yeah,
but it doesn't have to be.
Was it the Vikings back in the day?
May have been the Vikings.
Well, no, Thielen's like 6 foot. But it's like Stephon Diggs.
Is it the greatest show on turf? Were they
Oh, no, they had Torrey Holt. Well, it's actually, no, Torrey Holt's not that big. Hold on.
the Smurfs.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah, the
Tyler.
Smurfs. That was Chris. Yeah, Chris. The Smurfs. What team was that? I think that's it. Smurfs.
The
versus
Fun
the
Bunch?
Lions.
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it. The Fun Bunch.
That's what it's popped up for me, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that
The
too.
old
That was it.
skins, we'll call them, because we can't say
Okay,
that word
That's who it
anymore.
is. Washington had the Smurfs. How big were they? They were. I don't know how big they were.
Some say 4 inches.
Okay, well that's.
And they were all blue.
They said
They wore
5'7". They had a 5'7" guy. They have two 5'8" guys. It says they had a 5'10".
I'm
know.
ashamed that I have no clue what you're talking about. I'm
You've never heard
ashamed.
of the Spurs? My dad
No.
told me about them. So I was like, okay. And they just came up because we're talking about it. I'm like, no, it's worked before. Like teams have done this. Maybe not. We're not that small, but
Oh, it was the Commanders.
they were called the Fun Bunch.
Old name.
Oh, for real? That's their nickname, the Fun Bunch. Huh. Easy, what
Sounds
you know
like
about the Fun
70s
Bunch?
band. Nothing. I know 0. I feel like that's a band. Ryan
The
would
Fun
know.
Bunch included Art Monk, Virgil Shea, Charlie Brown, and Elvin Garrett.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Charlie Brown. Yeah. Each won a Super Bowl with the Redskins. 3 were chosen for the Pro Bowl. See, come on, man. We're bigger than the Smurfs. Like what I'm saying, this works. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not joking, man, bro. Like this.
I know it
works,
just feels
dog.
crazy to hear out loud.
You've never heard of that for real?
No, never. But I
Dude.
mean, another thing to look at though too is like Tom Brady. Some of his best wide receivers. I'll get inside the field guys, but like
And
Wes
tight ends.
Welker.
And we got that.
yeah, literally Wes Welker, Julian Edelman. That's all I got. Oh, something
Oh.
Hogan, Chris Hogan.
Dude,
He made
Chris
work.
Hogan. Chris Hogan
Right.
was a dog. Amendola
All
was there
white
for a
short
minute.
guys. Amendola.
Amendola was a dog, bro. Yup.
Who are these people? Are they waving at us?
I can't think of any more.
Yeah, it's all.
No,
I got.
look, see, I was trying to find the Fun Bunch known as the Smurfs. Smurfs are, okay. Oh, the 3 were given the nickname because of their size. Garrett was 5'7". Papa Smurf was 5'10".
Papa
all right.
Smurf.
So they were tiny, okay? That's what matters. This
Yeah.
works, okay? We're gonna make it work.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
good.
different.
Glad we did that.
Different. What's the word I'm looking for? Different.
But back
era.
then they were more physical, right? So like that should have been
Yeah.
tougher. I feel like if that's the event, you
Heinz-
got to look at it from a positive. They won't be able to keep up with us. They can't see us.
Mhm.
Yep.
Did Heinz Ward line up play outside?
Yeah,
He
I'm pretty
wasn't a
sure
big
he
guy.
did. From
He's just a
back
tough
my
son of a
Madden
bitch.
days, that dude I threw. Yeah, Heinz Ward would cook in Madden.
Just a
Heinz
tough
Ward was
son of a
crazy.
bitch. That's my
Heinz
dad
Ward-
actually.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, that's why I
We'll
get
have to
the.
get him on a show. We got to get Heinz
Yeah.
Ward on here. Heinz
I'll,
Ward.
yeah, Dad.
Dad, get in the room. Hey, you should be there right now. Where's Dad at? Let's get Heinz Ward. Well, yeah, Heinz Ward, and then you remember when they had what's a little fast dude, Willie Parker, bro? That
Willie
was
Parker.
it, dog.
That's honestly the team that got me into football when the Super Bowl was here in Detroit, and I saw
Mhm.
Jerome Bettis, another bigger, light skinned fellow. I was like, I'm gonna be him when I grow up, but I stopped
did.
growing at 5'7". No,
Oh.
I stopped. Yeah, no.
And
Actually, I had one amazing high school player running the ball, and I didn't even mean to do it. I was bracing for impact, thinking this kid was gonna like destroy my world. I put my head down. I was like, oh. I trucked him, but I didn't even know, dude. I just opened my eyes, and the next thing I know, like, because I heard the crowd go, it was like a little
That's
roar.
sick.
It was sick. Never did it again in my life. They never let me run a ball again. I don't know why, but
You'll never forget that play. Were you a running back?
I think I took the wrong hole. Fullback. I was trying to be fullback and linebacker.
Okay.
I was lineman, and then I started losing weight because in high school you're trying to get girls. So I was like, let me get skinny real quick.
So like,
then,
now you a fullback.
Yeah, but they like yelled at me because they're like, "What are you doing? You're a defensive tackle." I was like, "All
Okay.
right, killed that
Well,
dream."
you're Kalijah Cansey before Cansey. That's what it was.
I
That's why you're a
honestly
big
was.
Kalijah Cansey guy. That's why.
I had no gap discipline, but I would be in that backfield. I'd be in that backfield. Zero gap discipline because
You're finding a way back there.
I was chasing the quarterback every time. I was headhunting.
Yeah, that's funny though.
If I go back in time, bro, I'd tell myself I'd be Makai Wingo. Maybe not.
Dude. Well, you just got to stand out, man. That's it. Just got to stand. All right, I don't want to hold you too long here, man. But
No, yeah, I got a fantasy
Yeah,
draft at
fun.
7.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Get you out of here for that. Well, Chad, we got to do a fantasy over next weekend. Next weekend, I think we're aiming for. Easy if you want to be in that, you can, man. But I think we're aiming
Yeah.
for next week.
Let me know.
Make sure I don't miss the end of chat here. Dose what I missed, man. You missed the whole show. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You missed the entire. You missed the entire show. This first year starters didn't play. Yes, I think so. And
Yeah,
then
good
so I
point.
think we hit on everything. Any last points? I'm gonna make sure I don't miss.
Hungry
anything.
Panda hit the nail on the head. I was chasing the quarterback on running back draws. It was my flaw.
It's all right. At least you were back there though. You made an impression.
Yeah.
You were like, hold up, watch out for that guy. That guy's on the scouting report. He's all over the place. Unpredictable.
Yeah.
Get a little. That's not a bad thing. It's all right. Easy. I told you to stay away from fantasy.
Why?
Where can we
Amazing.
find you, Easy?
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you from
I should
Woodward. Where else can they find you, Easy?
on Dose of Dion 2.0. Honestly.
Good stuff. Well, you're also live on your channel, so he's also getting clips.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all it's for is clips. But if
you
I'm
go.
going live,
It's
it's I want it to be with Dion or someone of that stature. Maybe a little bit of Herman Moore this year. Maybe we'll get some of that.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Wrong impression? No, that's the right. Hey, any impression is good impression. You know what I mean? It's the old saying. I don't know if that's the saying. All right, we'll get out of here, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
I'll
y'all
do it.
joining. That's our 53s. Easy didn't make one for some reason, but it's all good. We just talked through
I
it.
made one. It just wasn't a cool graphic like yours. I just put
well,
like,
and mine was inaccurate because I had to cut somebody while we were
Yeah.
live. So
well, that's why I
yeah,
did like mine. I put like defensive backs 11, linebackers 5,
yes,
defensive line 10.
keep an eye on both long snappers getting cut. I think that would be a fun
Stop it.
surprise. You don't like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, you might. No, I mean, I told you I want Hatton.
I like that. Okay. Yeah, me too. I think Hatton's the guy. All right, we'll get out of here. Appreciate y'all joining.
Oh,
And
Lions
Go ahead,
Nation Unite. That's where you can find me and Dion this off.
There you go.
or a
Lions
little bit
Nation
during the
Unite.
season. Yes, sir.
and then, yeah, I think that's everything. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. We
Oh,
out.
Dion's on Bleacher Report too.
I'm on Bleach. Oh yeah, next 2 days.
Yeah.
We got because tomorrow predicting the roster cuts, so kind of what we did today, and then Tuesday's cuts. Tuesday's cuts at 4. I think that's when it's like officially in. So we'll have to react to that again. Maybe we'll get Easy back on. React to that again at some point.
Yeah, let me know. Tuesday this week, I know we're having Derek Claxton from the Athletic on the heavyweights. Let's tap in
Nice.
for that one. Going over the NFC North. And then, for all you your nasties in there, Walking Bets. If you guys know what I'm talking about, she's making her way to the heavyweights this week. You're gonna see the heavies and the heavies. So
All right.
there's that.
I don't know who that is. Good
Oh.
luck. That sounds fun.
I'll show you, bud. You'll be a fan.
All right. And don't forget Bet US. Oh, check out Bet US, man. There's no link in this description, but it's here somewhere. All right, we out.